All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good Friday evening to everybody. We're coming to you guys live tonight. We got a good jam-packed Friday night live edition. As you saw in the title, we got a five-star interior offensive lineman, Darius getting ready to make his commitment here in a little bit. It is down to Ohio State, Clemson, South Carolina, LSU, and them old shitty Volunteers from Tennessee. Got my good buddy, Jordan Dealmaker, right here beside me. Welcome in, man. We're gonna see what happens.
I'm tickled pink. I don't know whether it's nerves, excitement. I don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah, well, whoever gets him is going to get a hell of a ball player. I told you this earlier. And if we get him, I'm going to show some highlights of him here in a little while. I mean, his defensive highlights, I think, is a little more impressive than his offensive highlights. I think he could play either way. But I think we're recruiting him, and I believe everybody's recruiting him as a offensive lineman. So we'll see. But like I said, this is a jam-packed show, and we're going to stay on here for about 2 hours probably. There's a lot we got to talk about. We'll talk about the Nike uniform deal. We're going to talk about the 9-game schedule. We're going to talk about the press conferences the other day with Mike Shula and Clayton White, and just get into some Gamecock stuff. And this show is dictated by you guys, the fans, the subscribers. So make sure you guys are first hitting that like button, sharing, commenting, getting in here and being active, because that's what it's all about, entertaining you guys. And we can't do it if you guys.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't have my volume turned up, but yeah, he's getting ready to. He's getting ready to make his commitment here in a little bit. Like I was telling you earlier, he's probably going to do a bunch of talking, thanking everybody and letting everybody speak and say their piece about him. But, I mean, if y'all see these highlights right here, look at him. He don't quit, dude. He don't quit till that dude's on his back. And that dude, he's a big stud, dude. But we'll talk about him here in a little bit if he makes his commitment.
South Carolina, Tennessee.
Like I said, they don't do a whole lot of wasting on here on 247. They usually get right to it. They don't hold back and do a whole lot of extra talk from what I remember on the last commitment we've had with what's his name, Duckworth. So, but
he said the number one, he was looking for a player atmosphere. If that's the case, we got him.
What's up, Rooster, Scott, Dwayne, Mark?
Hello,
welcome
everybody.
Everybody, come on in. I know Rooster don't want to hit that like button yet because he don't know if he likes us, but everybody else hit that like button. Let's go. Get this thing rolling. I anticipate a good show tonight, and I hope I'm right. So,
yep.
Like I said, we're going to have a good time with this regardless. Oh, shoot. Got something playing here. But, yeah, like you said, I can't hear, so you may have to tell me what he's saying, but okay. He said he likes atmosphere, looking for an atmosphere.
Yeah, his main thing was looking for the right atmosphere.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, and that's what I bring to the table. And me and my family are going to be here together and just have a ball.
He's talking about him and the family.
I mean, that dude.
Look, I know everybody in that building. It is a packed house with friends and family. Everybody watching at home.
Yeah, y'all don't know much about this guy. He's 6'3", about 285 pounds, big, athletic, offensive lineman.
Five-star elite talent is playing this college ball. Darius,
and they're going to take a commercial break. Typical. You got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah, got to pay the bills. Well, like I was saying, he's 6'3", about 285 pounds, big, athletic, strong, quick. And we'll show his highlights here in a little bit if he commits to South Carolina. That's my plan anyway, if I can get this thing to work. But he's going to be a gem if he comes to South Carolina or anywhere he goes. I think he's going to be a heck of a ball player, especially if he comes to South Carolina, getting that strength and conditioning program with Luke Day, put on about 15 pounds, get over that 300 mark as an offensive lineman. He's going to be a hoss. So.
Oh yeah, I mean this is like I told you today. Last year set basically what I like to call the plow in the ground of us being on the national level. You know, right at the verge of the playoffs, national media if we can land this dude, this is going to be huge. Now, listen, I hope he works out. He's a young man. I hope he works out to be great.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, at the end of the day, he's still a 5-star. And, y'all, we don't get like 1 5-star every few years. This is big time. This is big time.
Yeah, we get one about every year, every other year here lately. And this could be the one. This could be the one for the 2026 class. We lost Blair to Tennessee. And like I told somebody that commented on my video, I was more surprised he committed than I was that he flipped. Because he is from state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And to me, I didn't really see a whole lot on his recruitment. So I wasn't following him. I wasn't tracking him. So his commitment to South Carolina came out of the blue to me. So losing him is not really a shock. Yeah, I would like to keep him because he's a 4-star, offensive lineman as well. But I think if we can land this guy tonight, Darius Gray, I think that'll be I think it'd be well worth losing old Blair over that. So I guess they're still on commercials.
Yeah, they are.
What's up, Todd? He said, what's up? He's a Gamecock. Todd's got faith in the young man committing to South Carolina. We'll see here in a few minutes. So, but like I said, he's big, athletic, strong, quick. And I hope he commits so we can show the highlights. I want y'all to see. If y'all haven't seen his highlights, I want y'all to see it. I want y'all to check it out. Like I said, I was more impressed with his defensive highlights than his offensive highlights. So, but we need offensive linemen. We need good, solid offensive linemen.
I'm watching the comments, and somebody said longest commercial in the Ultraverse.
Yeah, these damn commercials, man. So, but we'll see. Hopefully soon. Good Lord, come on.
There's a lot of Gamecocks and a lot of LSU up in here.
That's what I told you, man. I thought it was between LSU and South Carolina. That was my gut feeling. That's what I've been reading. It's a 2-horse race between us and LSU, with Tennessee being a sneaky third. But
all right, here's what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
When they come back on, I'm going to turn my phone up and I'm going to put it at the speaker.
I don't
so we can hear it, not see it.
Well, I don't know if that's a good idea because I don't know about the copyrights on that. Because usually, if you have a TV turned up watching football, a live thing, they will hit you with a copyright strike. So I wouldn't do it. But man, damn, are they still at break?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Come on, there you go. Show Patrick Mahomes and Lord have mercy. Come on, let's get this thing rolling. We got like 13 people in here. Where do y'all think? Everybody get in the comment. Where y'all think he's going? I know Todd said the Gamecock real quick. Let me know. Let me know what y'all think. LSU, Tennessee, Ohio State, Clemson. Is it true that our D-line coach was in a bad car wreck today? Huh? I did not hear that.
No, I hadn't heard that. All right, here we go.
I haven't been online really, so I don't know. I have to look it up there, Scott.
He's the number 1 interior offensive lineman in the country. 16th
Number 1 in the country.
Yeah,
16th overall in.
Yeah. Number 1 player in the state of Virginia. Because he is from the Richmond, Virginia area. So
5-star offensive lineman Darius Gray. He is ready to go.
He's ready to go.
yeah, mine's still a little bit behind you, man. Son of a bitch. I hate this shit. They're still showing highlights on mine, so. God almighty.
He's thanking everybody.
There you go. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, cousin. Thank you, hopscotch partner in elementary school. Let's get it going. So who are you going to? Let's go.
After today, to my family, I got 2 good, hardest-working people in my life right here, and see that every day, it means everything to me, and it kind of gives me more work ethic. My brother, see him change paths.
He's thanking mom and daddy, now his brother. He's already thanking his coaches and playmates.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Where you going? Where you going? Let's go.
Now he's talking about 7th grade. Coach Blaine and Coach Keith.
I'm very excited for it. So I want to thank you all. But with that being said, I want to thank
Thank you, God.
done a lot for me, and I just thank him for
Scott said he saw it on Twitter. I have to research that, Scott. I'm not sure.
make this promise. I promise
To his
Thank
future
God.
teammates and coaches, he's going to make this promise.
to the best fan base in the country.
To the best fan base in the country.
And to my family.
He's going to win on and off the field.
And with that being said, God has led me to.
He's standing up, reaching for a hat. Can't see it. Boom! We got him, baby.
There you go. There you go. Gamecock Nation. 5-star offensive lineman Darius Gray is a Gamecock. Woo!
Sat down with the black
Let's
cap
go.
with the block C and Garnet Gamecock in the middle.
Let's go. Huge commitment right there for Coach Beamer, Coach Teasley, and the Gamecocks. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited for him. So, what's your take on that, Jordan?
Oh hell! I mean, but like I told you before, this is tremendous, man. This is tremendous. That's the only way to word it. You know, when you get 5 stars, #1 lineman in the country, #1, 15th overall recruit in the country.
Yeah.
People pay attention to that, man.
Yeah.
People pay attention to that. And hell, we need the help on the offensive line. I love it.
Oh, yeah. We definitely do. Definitely need some offensive linemen, some good offensive linemen. He just, like I said, he just adds to it. Like I said in my video the other night, man, our offensive line is going to be loaded with talent in the next couple of weeks, or in the next couple of years, not weeks. In the next couple of years, man, this team is just stacked with offensive line, man.
God almighty, I can't believe we got him. Bo, that is amazing. This is last year set the standard, y'all. Last year set the standard for national media.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not all about the bag. That's what everybody thinks. It's not about that. It's about the atmosphere. First of all, the brotherhood, just everything about what Shane Beamer brings to this program. I mean, man, I'm stuttering a little bit. I mean, this is huge for our program. This is huge. Yeah, he's one player, but this opens the door for a lot of players. You gonna show him?
Yep. There you go. Oh, man, I didn't hit play. Let's see if I can hit the play here. Shit. See, I can't even do it right. But, yeah, here's his highlights, man. I was look at him. He just took that guy to the damn ground, dude. He's a dog on offense and defense. This year is on defense. Look at him. Shove that guy to the side. Look at him throw that damn quarterback down, man. That dude's a beast, man.
Wow.
6'4", 285.
Look how fast
only
he
gonna
moves.
only gonna get bigger and stronger. But these are some of the highlights, dude. I like it, man. I like what I'm seeing here. Here he is on defense again. I mean, he just destroys this quarterback.
I mean, dude, he's 285 pounds and moved that fast.
Look at him.
That's not
Look at him. He's still fighting. The whistle blowing. He's still fighting that dude, throwing his ass down.
That's a Michael Orr from the blind side stuff right
That
there.
dude's a freaking straight up beast, man. Like I said, he will put his hands on you and he will move you where he wants you. Now, granted, this is high school. He's going to be in the SEC. He's going to have to adjust, and he's going up against grown men as well. So it's going to probably take him a couple of years or about a year or so to get, be able to dominate in the SEC like he's doing right here at high school. I mean, look at this tape, dude. Look at him throw that dude down. Watch this. He's slowing that bitch about 5 yards in the backfield.
Jackpot's asking for the link.
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
And obviously I've been out of touch for the last few hours. T-Rob did get in a wreck today.
What?
T-Rob got in a wreck today.
Oh man. Okay, he's okay. He had surgery.
Yes, surgery on his ankle.
Let me copy this link.
I mean, he's a football player. He'll be fine. As long as nothing's life-threatening, he'll be okay.
Yeah, but here, I mean, look at the highlights, dude. I mean, we'll watch a few more minutes of it, but this guy's a mauler, dude. I mean, that guy. Like I said, I'm a little more impressed with the defensive highlights in his offense. To be honest with you.
Well, that's what you were telling me today, and when I watched it, I'm like, dang.
I mean, he could potentially play either side of the ball, man.
How long has it been since we had a player that could play both sides of the ball?
Oh man, probably been a couple of years. I believe I can't remember the last one, but we need him on offense more than we need him on defense. I do say that, but
say that louder for the people in the back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this right here is just adding some size, some mass, some strength, some everything, every freaking whatever you want to say, man, adjective, whatever. He's a beast, man. I am glad we got this guy.
Look how fast he can run at 280.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see it or not, but you should see him pull. That dude for 285 pounds, that dude pulls laterally real quick. That dude is freaking. He's got some skill, man. And you asked me earlier today how here it is right here. Watch him pull. He got it that side quick. But you asked me today how an offensive lineman freaking becomes a 5-star. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
he's a beast, man.
And at the end of the day, don't take this the wrong way, anybody. But he ain't playing against a bunch of white boys at a private school. He playing public school football.
Yeah, I'm not sure what classification they do, but in Virginia, but yeah, he's a grown ass man playing out there. That's for sure. Look at him. He gonna drive that dude to the ground, man. That's embarrassing as fuck. So, but there you go. So there's some highlights. We got a damn gem right there. 5-star offensive lineman, Darius Gray, out of the Richmond, Virginia area. Gonna play for the Gamecocks, baby. Let's go.
Spurs up.
That's right. That's right.
Shit.
What's up, Jackpot?
What's going on, guys? How we feeling tonight?
What's happening, Bubba? I'll be
Damn
feeling
good
better.
now.
I'll be feeling better in about 4 more beers.
I heard that. I heard that. This dude, I guess he plays a pretty high level at high school up there. And I know a lot of them play on Saturdays in some places. That's because ours is starting tonight down here. I don't know about y'all. Is this week 0 or
This
high
is
school?
This is week 1 for East Clarendon and Lake City, which is the 2 schools that I'm in between. My children go to East Clarendon. This is week 1 for them tonight.
Yeah, I thought this was the actual start because they have a week 0 in high school here, and some teams play and some like half of them play and half of them don't. But I know everybody's starting tonight, so his team they must play on Saturdays some or something because it's kind of weird that somebody be doing a commitment on a Friday night, but
Yeah, that is weird.
whatever works,
Well, most games don't kick off till like 7:30. Maybe he was in like their stadium in the locker room where the coach speaks with the banner behind him.
Well, it could have been because I thought it was weird. I've seen a few of those commitments where they just do it like it's almost like they're in a little room.
Yeah,
like they have a little green room or something, and then get interviewed by that guy. And then a lot of them do it in the gym and stuff with their family there and everything. So,
that is pretty weird. He didn't have none of his family up there with him, so he just basically thanked them all. So he may be at the school.
he might be fitting to go out there and put his helmet on and play a game. It's great. I just hope that damn, I hope like hell he gets developed.
Yeah.
I want to see something out of that unit this year. My God, we've been waiting long enough, haven't we?
Well, and anybody that listens to anything I got to say knows that is my biggest concern of this year. It's not the receivers, it's not the running back, it's not the DBs, it's not the defensive line, it's the damn offensive line.
Oh, that's where it all begins.
Yeah.
That's that's the foundation of your team.
Yeah.
If you don't have a strong offensive line, you've got weaknesses throughout your team. So,
Yep.
Well, my thing is, now listen, I have to give Little Butterball credit. He can recruit offensive linemen. But at the end of the day, going back to Atkins, now him, Lonnie Teasley, what have we seen productively in Beamer's era, offensive line wise? I can't say a damn thing positive.
nothing really. I mean, the
No.
second half of last year, I had thought for a while, I thought, oh man, they're getting better. But then I got to really looking at it close, and I'm like, no, that's just Lenoris making plays with his feet. That's just him.
Yeah.
It's just not them guys. And them sacks, when they gave up 41 sacks, Lenoris running quarterback, anytime he gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage, that counts as a sack.
Correct.
So they weren't like the Spencer Rattler dropping back in the pockets type sacks from the year before, but still, it shows they're not getting good push and they're not getting good protection for him.
When we had Satterfield, here's the one thing that I still can't wrap my head around. Maybe I'm not smart enough. I don't know. But all he talked about was hand placements from the line and technique. Well, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. And listen, I'm sorry, guys. I played football too. Now, was I a lineman? Hell no, I wasn't a lineman. They blocked for me because I was a running back. But at the end of the day, it's not rocket science. Grab that sumbitch between the numbers in front of you and push his ass backwards. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science. Be the bigger man. Grab him right between the tits. And I hope that don't offend anybody, but that's the way you do it. And push his ass backwards.
That's what he was taught.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they talk about it. You got this technique and that technique. I'm like, you're making this more complicated than what it should be.
we always did blocking drills in high school. I mean, we did them. We had these chutes. I don't know if you ever seen them before, but it wasn't but about maybe 3 foot high off the ground, and it was just metal pipes basically all welded together, and there was 5 little chutes, and you did your blocking drills there with your defensive lineman. You went up on against them one-on-one.
Yep.
And you damn helmet better not hit the top of that damn chute or you're too high.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, I ain't trying to oversimplify it, but that's,
Again, it's not rocket science. And I honestly thought wholeheartedly with Sean Elliott coming in that he was going to teach what we had years ago. I believe that. But I honestly do believe this too. I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny this. Okay. I'm being speculative, as Sports Talk Jay was with you for an hour.
Allegedly.
I thought that he was going to bring. Listen, fact of the matter is, if we didn't score twice on special teams against Georgia State, we'd have had our ass whipped. Why? Because smaller offensive linemen were pushing us backwards.
They were running all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. But my speculation is somebody, I don't know if y'all picked up on this, but last year somebody asked, I think it was a midweek conference or whatever it was. Somebody asked how much Sean had to do with the run game to Dow Loggins, and he almost blew him off like nothing. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
He was probably pissed when they hired him back.
Well, he didn't have no choice.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody was going out and consulting him on the hires. You got a chance to get that dude back, you know.
Yep. No
Yeah, it's a
matter.
no-brainer to me. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Beamer bucked it. He was probably all for it. But I know people like to throw shade at Ray Tanner. When he called Ray Tanner was like, yeah, this is going to happen. You know what I mean? This is going to happen.
Well, I think his head coaching hire failures have mainly just been, it's pretty much been centered around, I mean, you had the Muschamp thing. I
Yep.
mean, which I thought he worked out all right for a few years. I mean, it seemed like we were getting a little bit better, but, you know, every time we took a step forward, we'd take 2 steps back, and then it just kind of all blew up in his face. But I think most of Ray Tanner's bad hires are pretty much all centered around the baseball program, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
and I agree 100%. And when you win 2 national titles and come runner-up in the third one, you ought to be able to hire a head coach in baseball, you know?
Yeah, they holding his hires up to his standard. The fans are. So yeah,
He
he's
didn't hire, did he hire Frank Martin?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because I know
Yeah.
Frank's first season was, I think, 2012, 2013. I couldn't remember when Ray Tanner gave up the baseball job. I guess 2012 Ray's last season coaching the baseball team. Because remember we went to the College World Series Finals. We almost won it a third time.
Yeah,
we were
lost
runners.
to Arizona.
We were
Yeah.
runners up that year,
Yeah.
and that's the year he took AD. I think he did hire Frank Martin.
I guess he stepped into the athletic director role after that season.
Yeah.
I think so. So
Well,
yeah,
Dave, you'd have thought Frank would have been hired before. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, look it up because I'm not real sure about that one.
He'd have been hired before baseball was over with. I don't know, but anyway, I mean, he did I don't know. He was hot and cold, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
let's see here.
Here's my thing. If you take baseball out of the equation, you can leave Muschamp in the equation. If you look at what he's done, and I mean in Tanner, for the program, the athletics department in totality, y'all, he wasn't bad. He really was. If you look at where we are today, with him stepping away last year, we are set to do a hell of a lot of good things. I mean, look at our golf team, look at our tennis team, look at our soccer team, look at our softball team, women's basketball team. I mean, he did a lot of good things, and that's what frustrates me. And I know him personally, and he's a good guy. He is. But at the end of the day, when you're making $1 million a year and you're calling the shots, well, guess what? You're gonna have a lot of scrutiny on your ass too.
You know, maybe you could answer this for me. I read something, or me and Rob were talking about it back during the off season. Well, it's still the off season, and earlier in the off season, about like there were only 2 or 3 women's basketball programs in the country that made money. And South Carolina's women's basketball program was not one of the ones that operates in the black. How in the world is that possible?
That's not
the
true.
number of asses they put in the seats.
That's not true. I don't know what y'all read or where y'all read that at. Here's what I do know. First of all, I want to address. I guess that's Rooster down there commented. I didn't say he hired Dawn Staley. I'm saying our program under him came to the national level what it is now. So did golf. So did our soccer team. So did our softball team.
Yep.
So I'm not saying he made the hire. I'm saying what he did from a booster standpoint. The indoor facility we got, Spurrier had a lot to do with it, but that was under his tutelage. Okay, that was under his tutelage.
Well, he helped give Dawn some of the tools she needed.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he gave her everything. He gave her everything. But what you were just referring to, I've never heard that. There is not a home game.
I can't remember where that list was that he got that from. I'd have to ask him, but it was something recent. And it was like the only ones that had made money was like, it was UConn, was
And
listed
Iowa.
on there. Of course, Iowa was listed on there. This was coming after at the end of 2024 season. So, of course, that was the Caitlin Clark year. But I mean, still, I mean, our arena is bigger than theirs, and we sold it out on a regular basis.
Yeah, I just maybe they're basing it on like a 5-year span. Maybe that's true because UConn's been like at the top of the food chain for years and years. But listen, I have box seats there. Okay, I'm telling you, for a women's basketball game, and I have floor seats. I have to go all the way down, come out of the box, go all the way down to sit at the floor.
Right.
That's a standing room only, both even in the upper deck.
Oh
Even
yeah.
in the upper deck. If you want a damn hot dog, you go stand in line for 30 minutes to get a damn hot dog.
Yep.
So I don't get that. I don't get
I like going to games down there when it's packed, man. And when we've got a good team, this was the men's team. I mean, they'll pack that place out. I was down there for the Kentucky game year before last, and who else? We had a big win over Florida, I think. I was at the LSU game, which we damn shit to bed and had gave that one away, and the one
Yes.
against Tennessee too.
Yes.
But it's fun when that place is packed. But then, I went to a game this year when they played Texas. I mean, it was like, reach out like this. You couldn't touch nobody,
Well, this year I'm going to make it a point during basketball season. I'm going to invite you and you come sit in with the box with us, and me and you go down and sit right beside.
Shut up.
We'll sit right court side, and I think you'd enjoy that.
Oh yeah, man, that sounds cool. Get outside. Damn. Well, I just got home a little bit ago. These dogs. I mean, if somebody's walking their dog down the road, they got to make a big production about it. And there's a cat in the middle of the road. We got to all bark at it at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and I watched your video today. The wife wasn't home to help you out before you got home either.
Do what now?
I said, I watched your video today, and you said that the wife's not home, so she wasn't able to carry them out and let them relax before you got home.
No, she won't. No, she won't be back here until Sunday. Shut up. Sunday evening. Little pug is loud. So I can live stream that ball game tomorrow evening, kind of in peace, because she makes me feel some kind of way sometimes when I'm live streaming shit.
You know what mine does? Jackpot.
Huh?
You know what my wife does when I'm live streaming?
Now what?
Whatever the hell she wants to do. She don't pay me no damn attention.
She don't care. Nah. Yeah, mine don't. Mine goes in there and goes in there and goes to bed or watches TV, or she's not even interested in it in the slightest. But,
Yeah, mine's not either. I mean, she loves the Gamecocks, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, she don't want to hear us sitting here ranting and raving, and she might be in the kitchen right now. I don't know where she's at, but
mine's the same way.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've gone to games together before, but I mean, she doesn't care about watching it on TV. She doesn't like to hear me cussing and raising Cain and all that shit during those live streams either. So we'll let her go do her thing. But I'm gonna be at one road game this year. We're gonna go on a road trip. Me and my son are gonna go to that LSU game.
Well,
I don't know. It was either we were going to go to that one or we were going to go to the Missouri one, and Missouri's a couple hours further away. I don't know. I mean, I figure we will stand a better chance of winning the game at Mizzou, but with LSU, I don't know. I want to go somewhere, man. I kind of want to go somewhere that's. What is it? That's more one of the. When you think of like some of the cathedrals of college football, you would think of LSU's Tiger Stadium. You're not going to think of Mizzou.
no, hell no.
I checked the Alabama Stadium off the bucket list last year. I've been to Tennessee. Yeah, I've been to all these other places, so I'm like, hell, why not? You know,
There's still one I want to go to. There is one I want to go to, and it's not because it's like that
Clemson Memorial
glorious,
Stadium.
huh?
Clemson Memorial Stadium. No, I'm just
You know it, baby. You know it, baby. You know it. Are we going to hear about all this Gamecock crowing because you landed an offensive lineman? Your line is still garbage. Jackpot, who told you about him a couple of months ago? Who
you
told you?
did.
I did a service call. I work in the IT department. I went to Darius Gray's school, St. Christopher School. Nice private school, very expensive. And I asked the coach, I'm like, hey, that Darius Gray guy, do you know where he's leaning? He's like, Darius Gray loves some Dabo Sweeney, but Mama Gray is infatuated with Shane Beamer. Once he said that, I'm like, it's kind of hard to pull away from Mama.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mama
Mama
always wins.
Mama always wins.
Sound like Mama
Yeah.
knows best there.
So yeah, I know we've recruited a lot of offensive linemen, but I'm not talking shit, man. I would have loved to land him. I think any college in the country would have loved.
Then why
him.
you gonna come in on here talking about we crowing because we landed a 5-star? Come on,
Yeah,
give us
you
a
just
little
coming
bit
in
of damn.
hot. Coming
You
in
don't-
hot with attitude.
You don't
probably.
land a lot of them, so I know you're really happy right now.
Exactly.
We just
Exactly.
landed one
Don't give
year
us
before,
credit.
like cycle before
I
last,
know
sir.
you've been on a run where Jackpot's made a comment Wednesday about lately every recruiting class you'll land at least one 5-star.
It seemed like we have. We've landed
Yeah.
one 3 out of the last 4 years now.
3 out of the last 4, but we went years. About every other year, we would land one.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
do.
and some of them turned out to be damn 1-stars. You know.
That's the way it
Uh-huh.
is. Some of our players, I'm like, oh wow, DJ. Need I say more?
No.
Hot dog water. But hey, I just wanted to really say congrats, man. I'm just looking forward to the season. It starts tomorrow, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Like a mini preview starting tomorrow. But yeah, go Tigers. We're going 12-0 regular season. I'm just letting
Y'all are going 11-1 regular season.
yeah, 12-0. What'd you say? You were breaking. I didn't
I
hear
said y'all are going 11-1 regular season, but y'all will be in the finals for the national championship. I believe that wholeheartedly.
I like this guy. Right, Jackpot? You hear him?
Yeah, I believe it too, honestly.
But your one loss is going to be to them damn game chickens. You understand me?
We don't lose in away from home. We don't lose in Willie B. You know that.
Yes, you do.
Last
It's been a
2014,
while, but you
last
do.
time we were there. 11
Hey,
years
what?
ago.
Hey, y'all just need to remember one thing. I can't talk shit to y'all because of what y'all accomplished. I can't, because I mean, what am I going to bring up? An SEC, an ACC championship back before I was born? No, I'm not going to bring that up. So at the end of the day, I will say
69,
this.
baby.
I will say this. Right now is the rebirth of what everybody saw for about a 4-year span under Spurrier with Beamer. And you know wholeheartedly, you're a Clemson fan. You know that Beamer is the exact replica of a position coach that got a head coach's position that does it a little bit differently than most coaches, just like Dabo did. Tell me I'm wrong. He's gone.
Nope, he's out of here.
They are, yeah. It's kind of is like there's some similarities, but there's some differences too. Because Beamer is going to go with the flow and the trends. He's gonna he's not gonna stay. Dabo stays kind of stuck in his ways. I guess he used the portal a little bit this past year, but Beamer's going to evolve. I think he's more in tune with things. You know what I mean?
But Kale, I agree with you. But understand, before this NIL era, transfer portal era, Dabo was on top of his game. Now he was. Him and Saban. They were the two of the best at it. They knew what the hell they were doing.
Yeah. Well, his recruiting's still not where it was at that point. And those generational quarterbacks, he had back-to-back generational quarterbacks, really.
Yeah.
I think Lawrence, obviously, it panned out to be better than Watson, but I mean, that's all you heard about up here, man. So, that's all you heard about.
What, Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, but yeah, and then Lawrence too. Both of them. Like, my God, I might have to
Yeah.
listen to shit for another 3 or 4 years.
How'd he work out getting happy endings at massage parlor? So I mean,
Yeah, his career. He just that just ruined his career, man. I mean, but
I mean,
I mean, Trevor Lawrence ain't doing all that great right now. But I mean, he's kind of on a shitty team too.
well, and I was thinking about this the other day. I think we brought it up on our live. And Chuck was asking me, do I think that Lenore's is going to go into the draft? Well, that depends on a lot of factors. That depends on whether he maintains what he's done, whether he gains on what he's done, whether he slides backwards. But at the end of the day, when you're making $1 million a year at 20 years old, he seems to come from a pretty good family, not in poverty or anything. You're making $1 million a year, and they tell you you're going to the Browns. I would say, kiss my ass. I'm going back to college. That's what I would say.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, who was it? Remember back in the day? You ever watched that 30 for 30 documentary about the '83 NFL draft and old John Elway?
Hell
He was going to get drafted to the Baltimore Colts, and he just flat refused. He said he wasn't going to play for him. He was going to play baseball.
Yep.
So
he-
what go there?
Wasn't it Eli Manning did the same thing?
He did.
Or Phillip Rivers? One of the two?
It was Eli.
Yeah, he said he wasn't playing. He said he wasn't playing for whoever drafted him, and they swapped him and Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, he was supposed to go to San Diego.
Yep.
And Rivers got chosen by the Giants, and Eli said he ain't going to San Diego. So
Who ended up having the better career?
I would say Eli.
Yeah, I would say Eli.
Yeah.
He's got the hardware.
Philip Rivers was around forever though.
Yeah.
Eli retired before him, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't keep up with NFL that much, so I don't.
I thought he did. I remember them saying something about Philip Rivers had like 6 kids, and he was still starting an NFL game.
He had
yeah.
6 kids, and he was a starting quarterback after 6 kids.
Yeah,
Damn, he must have had a hell of a wife and 2 good nannies for 6 kids.
he must have did. I was listening to that guy Jamie Bradford that does that he does some podcast stuff and some stuff on YouTube. JC, and he was interviewing old G.A. Mangus today.
I didn't watch it. I saw it pop up. I didn't watch it. Tell me about it.
Well, he's coaching high school right now at Brooklyn Casey. He's like I guess he's calling plays for them, and they were just talking about developing Connor Shaw, and they started talking about Lenoris, and he seems to have, like, he doesn't know Mike Shula personally, but he knows of him and being in the coaching circles, and he's pretty well respected, and he talked about the wide receivers and at South Carolina and how that group. They were talking about Bradford said a lot of these true freshmen were going to play this year, and he's like that stupid red shirt thing. He's like, that's not worth it. This guy's just let it fly too. He's funny. He's like, that thing's not worth a shit anymore. He's like, if you have any talent, he said, you don't need a red shirt.
No,
he said,
I agree.
he said you're going to put a red shirt on a talented kid. He said, and then the next year, he said the coach that replaces your ass is going to take the red shirt off of it and use it. So he said that's good. They've got all those to develop. He said because they do need to. He said they do need a lot of help in the wide receiver room there. He said, he said, Lenoris, he can tell that he needs to develop more as a passer. And he was talking about that bowl game. He said, you saw it in that bowl game. He said they let him stay in the pocket. He said Illinois didn't really come after him. They let him stay in the pocket and try to pick him apart. And it just, he couldn't really do it. So He said he's still got some maturing to do, some growing, some developing to do there.
I mean,
Which we knew that.
I will have to agree with what he said. I mean, that's
Well, yeah, I mean, him sitting in the pocket and them not rushing him, that was kind of a brilliant move because, he's used to just taking off and getting a bunch of pressure and then taking off running.
Yeah.
And picking up 10, 15 yards or whatever. And, when he's sitting back there and being given all this time, he can't really switch into Spencer Rattler mode. He ain't that kind of quarterback.
No.
But and no offense to Clemson, A&M, anybody we played prior to Illinois, but I mean they had Class A defenses, and their whole theory was pin your ears back, go kill the quarterback. Well, when you got a quarterback this talented, he just ran right across the top of your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was watching some of the replays of some of the plays in that A&M game the day after. And, man, I'm like, I mean, they would send the blitz and linebacker after him. I'm like, how in the hell is he making these people miss? And I looked at it, I'm like, are these guys? I'm like, is this O-line that shitty? I'm like, is somebody not picking that guy up? I'm like, or are they designing that way? That for Lenoris to just make him miss so they can double team somebody else. I'm like, so I never really figured that out. But
you and I could sit over a case of damn beer and be tongue slapping stupid by the time we got to the end of this conversation and not figure out the question you just asked, because I can't figure it out either.
you know what I'm talking about, though.
I do.
I mean, damn, how did that guy miss? How did that guy just not take his head off, man?
Yeah, but listen, it's just like Spencer Rattler. Let's talk about him for a second, if y'all don't mind. The dude ain't never had a damn line since he started football, at least at the collegiate level, not at the pro level. Same damn thing.
I don't know what. Yeah, did he? I don't know what he had at Oklahoma, if it was ever any good or not.
He is not that elusive. I mean, he can step to the side, he can scurry, but he's not that elusive. But at the end of the day, I think Lenoris's immaturity, some of his immaturity and his fumbling that he does, is because he's not looking for the routes downfield because he's worried about somebody's going to clean his clock and scurrying away from him, which shows his athletic ability. But at the end of the day, you've got to give a quarterback at a minimum, 6 to 7 seconds to let the damn routes develop. He didn't have half that most of the year. He didn't have half that.
Yeah, that's a tall ask for these guys.
Didn't he have
Well, it's not, but it.
Didn't he have the lowest amount of time too? Like, was it like 3 point some seconds?
Like 3.3. Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, somewhere between 3 to 4. So yeah, he was like one of the worst as far as that. So, but yeah, I watched some of these.
If you watch some of how Rocket Sanders, some of his runs, I mean, it was like they'd hand the ball off to him, he'd bounce to the outside, and they would all kind of converge on him, and somehow or another he'd break a tackle and slip through. It's almost like he ran parallel to the line of scrimmage and then upfield.
He did, and listen. Some of the greatest runs he had, y'all, it was pure gimmick plays. If you watch them, go back and watch them. It was pure gimmick play, like a shovel pass, a pitch. It wasn't hand you the ball, go up the middle and get 10 yards. No, hell no, that shit didn't happen.
Yeah, they couldn't open up no holes for him like that. Oh, Attaway does pretty good on that shovel pass.
Hey, I like that shovel pass. I do. I love it. And I want to say this. I don't know if y'all been watching DeMarco and Garcia on their little tailgate talks. I've enjoyed the hell out of it.
I ain't watched them all. I listened to it when they interviewed Spurrier here a while back.
Oh, all right. Well, that's the one I'm about to bring up. Spurrier made the best statement I've ever heard. He was like, Spur, you were one of the last ones to use a fullback, which that's what Patrick was.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Why wouldn't you send someone into the hole when they clean the linebacker out to gain 5 yards? It makes sense. Well, you know what? Why didn't somebody go, hey, let me try that a few times a game and see if it works? Why not go back? You know, old school is now new fashion, and new fashion is now old fashion. Why don't somebody try it again?
I'll be right back.
Actually, we do deal maker, but they use it differently. It's the tight end.
Yeah, Maurice Brown.
Mo Brown did it a lot last year, and what they do is instead of behind the quarterback, though, they slide him on the inside of the offensive line. If you watch how South Carolina does it, they'll bring a tight end, and the tight end's almost lined up between the guard and the center.
But there's a big difference between a tight end and somebody 6 foot tall, 230 pounds.
Well, how small you think Maurice Brown is, dude? He's a tight end.
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
But they've actually been doing it for a few years. It's in Dow Loggins' offense to bring slide a tight end like that. Sometimes they do drop him back in front of the running back.
I would love nothing more than on every damn third down with 3 to go, somebody put a fullback in a 3-point stand. I would lose my mustard. I would lose my mustard to see it.
You'll see some teams try it every once in a while. I think because they like to run these spread offenses now, and get a lot of the DBs kind of spread out on wide receivers. That's why you see so many tight ends get flexed out now, is to take people out of the box. You don't want, they're trying to get them, like, because you would rather, like Jackpot was talking about with Lenore and how he did it. I don't know if you guys listen to Sideline South Carolina or whatever it is. They talked to Lenore's dad. And he was talking about how Lenore, they started him at football basically when he was 1 year old. Him and his dad would go out and they'd play football and tackle all that stuff. Same thing with Pup when he came along like 2 years later. But he said Lenore has always been that way. Always caused people to miss. Always that's just the way he's always played the game of football his whole life.
Well,
so he's just used to doing that. But you would take Lenore Sellers one-on-one against a linebacker any day if you get everybody out of the box. And it's Lenore and a linebacker, I'm taking Sellers every time.
Well, he's much faster than they are, more elusive and much faster. But I tell you, one interview they did, which I thought was spectacular, probably one of the best ones they've done yet. And I know Chuck loved the one with damn Harbor and all that, but that wasn't impressive to me. But Luke Doty was like, dude, y'all have no idea. Like, what y'all saw, y'all finally got to see it. We've been watching this for 2 years. This is who this guy is. This is what he does. And everybody was so shocked. He was like, I watched it when he was a freshman and he was a backup quarterback. You know what I mean? This is who he is. I enjoyed the hell out of that one.
But that's Uncle Doty.
Yeah, that's what they call it. They call
Uncle
it
Luke Doty's probably telling you that over the senior coffee that he got for free at McDonald's. They still do that. Unc.
Oh,
Yeah, he's been around. I remember his first day of camp. Was that his first day of camp, or his red shirt season, or his first season when they stepped on his damn foot the first day of camp?
That was
his second year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 20.
I think it was the year he was going to be the starter.
Yeah, he was going to be the starter, and he didn't even
Beamer's first year.
Yeah, he didn't even get out the gate, so
yeah, Beamer was snaked up kind of from the beginning there with that deal.
Yeah.
What they did with that team to scrap together the wins that they got that season was amazing. Because if you think back, even Casey Henry was one of those original recruits he got. I mean, they pieced that thing together. Like, it just shocks me that they even got that many wins. That should have been his worst year.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, hell, I was at that damn East Carolina game. I was sitting with a puckered butthole the whole game. But it was like one of them games where they were behind the whole game, but somehow or another, you knew they were gonna. I knew they were gonna figure out a way to come back and win it, or it was gonna be damn close. But that was one. They come out there on the first play.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that the very first play they threw that little
Behind the line of scrimmage.
little flare to the sideline. But yeah, and the wide receiver threw a touchdown pass. I was like, oh shit.
Like 75 yards right off the rip.
Yeah. And one of our boys, I can't remember who that boy was who played. He was a safety, I think. He recovered a fumble right before halftime, and he set us up for a touchdown. I can't even remember who that was now. It was a
You
long.
talking about Staley, the linebacker?
Yeah, Staley.
Yeah. Damani Staley.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the smallest guy on the field won us that game, which was Juju.
Yeah. Well,
If they
him and
didn't have
Parker
Juju-
White.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, fellas. I had to pause for the calls and get another cold beer.
Now, what high school did you say your kids go to?
East Clarendon.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
No. I know my uncle retired from teaching a couple of years ago, and he was in Greenville County when he was teaching, but his first teaching jobs he got after he graduated from Clemson back in the early 80s. He was teaching at C.E. Murray High School down there somewhere. He taught there for about 3 or 4 years, and he had an apartment he stayed in during the week, and then he'd go home on the weekend up here and stay with Grandma and Grandpa. But I think they closed that school.
They did.
That's not anywhere near where you live, though, is it? That's near Kingstree.
Yeah, down there Hemingway, ain't it?
It's in Hemingway.
Hemingway.
Yeah. Hemingway. That's where it is. But most of them down around Hemingway now, they go to Johnsonville.
Yep.
They go to Hannah Pampico, or they go to Andrews.
Scotts Branch, is that another one?
Scotts
That's
Branch.
up there.
When you was up there running that tire shop up there in Red Springs, did you live up there?
I lived in Lumberton. Yes.
Who was from up there? Did you just decide to buy that, or how'd that work? Did you have some kin people with your wife that lived up there or something?
No, none at all. We had no kinfolk up there, anything. Back in 2010, I worked for GMC, and I was finance director for General Motors.
Right.
And I went from Florence to Sumter, from Sumter to Columbia. And they came to me and they said, "Hey, your next step is to be the general manager." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." They were like, "We've got a store that needs turning around, but it's in North Carolina." I said, "Okay, well, no problem." I looked at the map, didn't even know where Red Springs was. Look, I knew where Lumberton was. I knew where Fayetteville was. I didn't know where Red Springs was. So I looked at the map, and I'm like, I'm just going to, my wife and I jumped in the car. We hauled Bud up there one weekend to see how long it would take me to get there. And it took me about an hour or 45 minutes from my house. And I said, I'll take the gig, because it's just a step up the ladder. You know what I mean? I said, I'll take the gig. And so I drove for 14 months every morning. Sometimes I would stay in a hotel like you did. Sometimes I would, but most of the time I drove back and forth. And then they were like, "All right, well, you're turning the store around." When I took over the store, we're selling about 37 to 40 cars a month. And about 90 days later, we're selling about 80 cars a month. They're like, we're not moving you back home. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, "No, we will, you go find the house. We'll do," I'm not going to give you the details, but in other words, I went and found a house. They basically assisted me in buying my house. They get 18-wheelers moving companies to come get all of my stuff from down here in South Carolina. They moved me up there, the whole 9 yards. This is your show. You're going to stay here for a while. So, had my daughter in 2012. My wife got pregnant in 2000 and hold on, let me take you back. Had my daughter in 2012. When you run a car dealership, you work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. I barely knew my daughter.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, I barely knew her. Now, was I making a couple $100,000 a year? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, we had a lot of great things. But we had great things when I was back at home, too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I can't continue to do this. And we're planning on, we're talking about having a second child. My daughter, she knows me for about 10 minutes a day, if that. And that's not cool. And that was in the morning time. Because in the evening, by the time I got home at 8:30, 9 o'clock, she was in the bed sleep. And the guy down the road, I had made friends with him back in 2014. And I was deer hunting his property. His wife owned about 700 acres of land, and he wasn't a hunter. And he owned the place that I bought. And so numerous times he would go, man, why don't you just buy me out so I can retire? And after a couple of times, you don't pay that no attention. You're sitting out there drinking beer, just having a good time. He brought it up about the fifth time, and I looked at him. I said, now, you brought this thing up several times. Are you serious about this? He was like, listen, I retired from the post office after 21 years. I've had this place for 20 years. He said, I'm tired of it. And I'm like, all right, let's get down to brass tacks. So we went and started, I got my accountant to look at it, his accountant to look at it, and I walked into the bank and I said, hey, I want to borrow $1 million, hoping they'd say no. And they said, absolutely, you can do it. And I went to my wife and I said, this is what we're about to do. I'm going to work for the car dealership and we're going to own this. And that's what I did for about, I guess, 8 months. She got pregnant with my youngest one. And then it wasn't making the money that it was supposed to be making by what it had done in the previous years. And I went to ownership and I was like, hey, this is what I'm looking at. And they looked at me and they said, if you sign a do not compete clause that you will not sell cars, used cars, or open a car lot, we will guarantee you can service all of our trade-in vehicles if you sign that do not compete clause.
Right.
And I said, okay. They said, you got to go. We understand. You borrowed a lot of money. You've got to go, and the rest is history. I mean, that's how it all worked out.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know. Of course, I wasn't up there, but I had that job for like a year, and then and I was living. Well, they made me get an apartment, so I was living in an apartment in Lumberton. But it wasn't. It was behind somebody's house. It was like a little 1-bedroom, like two-room little apartment behind somebody's house. I mean, nobody in the house that was behind. There was nobody living there. It was in the process of being remodeled, but there was nobody living there.
Do you
So,
mind me asking what area it was in?
It was off of Carthage Road.
Okay, yeah, I know right where you're talking about.
Yeah, there was a lot of older homes down through there.
Yeah.
And this one, I mean, it was a big older home. And it looked like shit on the outside, but the last day I was there, when my wife came up there and she helped me get all my stuff together and get it moved out and put in my pickup to bring it all home. That guy had just finished up with some of the touches they were doing on the remodel job. And he took us in that house, and we were in there for a good 30, 45 minutes looking around. And it was built in the early 1900s. And he redone that house, and that thing was beautiful. I mean, it was 3 stories. They put hardwood floors in it. I mean, it redid all the light fixtures. That place looked awesome.
I lived, I don't mind telling you, I've sold the house now, but I lived in what they called the Mayfair North subdivision.
Okay.
Which is, there's 2 prominent subdivisions in Lumberton. It's the Oaks and Mayfair North. and I lived in Mayfair North. And in other words, if I live behind you know where the Ford store is at on the frontage road?
The what now?
The Ford store. The Ford dealership.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. My house, you had to get on the frontage road down the side of I-95 to get into my neighborhood.
Okay.
I would get on the frontage road, come out the 211, hang a right, and go shoot straight shot to Red Springs every day of my life.
Yeah, that area up there, when I went up there, they told me, everybody up there is mean and you ain't gonna like it up there. I never had any problem with any of the people in lumber. I didn't have any problem with anybody up there.
I didn't either. I will tell you this: they're different. They talk different.
They're different, and it seemed like to me, just from what I could tell, it seemed like there was racial tension in some ways between the black people and the Indian.
That's
people.
correct. It has nothing to do with the white people. You're 100% correct.
Yeah, you could feel it.
Yeah.
Because I had the lady I had that was managing. Well, she don't even work for me anymore. The little store in Pembroke was a Lumbee lady, and she was in her early 60s, and she was brought up in a different time, and she would complain about some of the people she had working for her, and tell me about this and that, and then she'd use the N word when she's talking about them. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, we can't be having this conversation now.
Yeah,
I have to totally do a 180 here.
Yeah, they don't mind saying that, and the other ones don't mind calling them Indians either.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not the 70s anymore. We can't talk like this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, listen, I made a good living up there.
Yeah.
I sold it. I sold my house. I had a farm out in the country off of the Barker 10 Mile Road. I don't even know if you know where that's at. I had a farm.
I know where. Yeah.
My farm was actually on Barker Church, which is off of Barker 10 Mile, and I did well. I appreciate the hell out of them. I spent a long time up there, but it got to the point where the school system there, I was sending my children to Fayetteville every day to private school.
Right.
I didn't go to private school, okay? I didn't like my children going to private school. But the public school was so bad, in bad shape, I had no choice. And my wife and I sat down and talked about it, and she was like, hey, you've had a good run here. I mean, I live on, 100+ acre farm here, which is where my wife was born and raised. She was like, let's go back home. Let's send the kids to where I went to school, which is East Clarendon. And I started thinking about it, and all my nieces and nephews, brothers and sisters are down here, and I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. So in mid-40s, I'm retired, but I ain't got enough money to stay retired all my life. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't mind that job at all. It was just a lot of driving back and forth to get home, and I that was killing me. And I finally had an opportunity to do this, and that's why I always wanted to do this. So
I'll never forget the day that you pulled up. You had made some videos, and I had seen that Dodge Caravan that you were driving.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly what you did for a living, but I've been following you for about a year, watching your videos. And you pulled up, no offense, Cale, no offense. I saw that bald head. The windows were just as clear as a bell. No tinted windows. The windows were just clear as a bell. Sun beaming off that big bald head of his. And when he got out, I said, that's Carolina Jackpot. That's all I could think. I said, that is him. There is no doubt in my mind that's him. But in the same token, I'm like, no, hell no. He ain't up here in Red Springs at my place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when I walked up to you. You're sitting on the bench. You walked in. You told the office manager what you needed done. And I walked out and I asked my shop manager, I was like, what's going on with that van? And he was like, hey, he's got a flat tire, this, and that, and third. And I walked out front and I was standing there and I looked over at you. You were on the bench and you were looking down at a phone or a tablet or something. And I walked up and I said, are you Jackpot? And that's when you looked at me and like, yeah. You almost like you were scared to answer me.
I was probably about to say, nah, man. But Yeah, that was some divine intervention there. Some dumbass, his damn shovel fell off the back of his damn farming wagon, and I ran over the damn thing. I knew the tower was gone as soon as I hit it. I'm like, God dang it! I'm like, this is the last thing I need today.
And I'll never forget what you asked me, because I had my Gamecock. I always wear a Gamecock hat. I had a Gamecock hat on, and I'm like, dude, I'm from South Carolina. I've been following you for a long time, and we talked. I don't know. I guess 7-8 minutes, and you looked at me and you said, "You like it up here?" And I'm like, "This is where my living's at, buddy." You know?
Yeah, it was different. The only little town up there I didn't really care for where my store was at was Rayford. I had a store in Rayford. That place was just a damn shithole. I didn't like that town.
Well, I actually I bought a place in Rayford. I only had it for 2 years, and I tell you what, now them people over there, they'll shit you. And I couldn't be at both places at the same time, so I sold that damn thing.
And I had a store. One of my stores was in a little town, Roseboro. Had you ever been over there?
No, I can't say that I have.
Roseboro was on the other side of Fayetteville. It was I think it was Sampson County.
Okay.
That was a nice little town there. And Elizabethtown, it was okay. I had one in Whiteville.
No. If you were around Lumberton, Robinson County, it's not called Whiteville, it's called Wyville.
Well, okay. Fairmont was one of the other ones in Fairmont, and that little town. I asked somebody. I said, "What the heck?" I said, "What's wrong with this?" I said, "Everything here's closed up," and they said it got flooded out. I said, "It was a flood come through here and pretty much wiped the whole damn town out."
It did. That was in 2016 during Hurricane Matthew. That's a fact. Yep.
Yeah, but you could tell with that little town. You could tell at one point. I got a video up on my channel of doing nothing but driving around that little town in the streets, and it said the dead town of Fairmont, North Carolina, or something. I had like 3,000 people watched it. I don't know why, but you could tell at one time that little town was thriving.
It was,
and there's another town down the road from it near Tabor City called Fair Bluff.
Fair Bluff. That's the one when you cross the little creek. Yep.
Yeah, that's right there beside the river.
Yep.
And pretty much the same thing happened to that town, I think, too.
It did. But
yeah.
To answer your question, yeah, I'm back home. I'm back working for the family business, which something that a company I helped start back in 2007, and which I've always done throughout the years, but just not full time, just as needed, you know. But do you know what an auctioneer is? I mean, I'm not being that's what we do. That's what we do. We have a huge construction auctioneering company, and we sell.
Yeah, man, I know you know how to do it. I've heard you do the.
Yeah, we sell worldwide, and yeah, we sell worldwide, and it's pretty successful through the years. My daddy runs the Ford store. My daddy's always worked for Ford. I always worked for GMC. He runs the Ford store in Sumter, and I went to work for my aunt and uncle, the auctioneering company, and that's just listen.
Down in Bowling, South Carolina, I had one of my stores was down there. That's where old Legette's from, where he played high school. Their teams are called the Auctioneers. I think that come from tobacco auctioneers.
That's how it all got started around here. Was everybody auctioneered tobacco, and it's a little different auctioneering than what you hear today. It's like $1 to bid, here to get $2, $2 to bid, here to get $3. The tobacco auctioneer is a whole lot faster, and you're doing it in cents instead of dollars. It might be like $1.82 per pound, and you're selling it by the pound, and it's a whole lot faster when you have professional buyers. So the way we do it now, you have to slow it down because you're not dealing with professional buyers. You're dealing with professional business owners that are buying construction equipment and farm equipment.
Well, I wonder back in the day, who was it that came to the tobacco auction? Somebody that worked for the cigarette company or
What he
chewing
did? Well,
tobacco company or who?
no. All right, and Rooster's got a little history in this too. You had a warehouse owner. You had all these farmers that brought their tobacco to the warehouse owner. The warehouse owner was not only a warehouse owner, he was also a financier. So, in other words, if the farmer needed $100,000 to finish his crop, then if he couldn't get it from the bank or farm credit or wherever he would go to the warehouse owner. So you go to the warehouse owner would loan you the money, but he also got a percentage of your crop when you brought it in. All the buyers work for like RJ Reynolds, Morris, all the tobacco companies. That's
Right.
what they did for a living. They worked the circuit every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They were at a different warehouse in a different town buying tobacco for their company. And the auctioneer was a subcontractor. He was paid by the warehouse owner to come in. And the more money he brought for the tobacco, the more money he made. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
That's kind of how it worked.
that's pretty cool.
Yep. I mean, again, you had USA, Philip Morris, RJR. It's a ton of them.
Used to be a
Liberal.
whole bunch of them. Now it's all. I mean,
It's all contract.
cigarette tobacco, smoking tobacco has got to be. I mean, that's got to be operating at a deficit right now because ain't nobody. They're not selling me nowhere near as many cigarettes they used to.
No,
You can't-
it's all contract now. Like my uncle, his brother is one of the biggest tobacco farmers around here. He's farming about 800 acres this year.
Right.
And before he put the plow in the ground, he was told, this is what we'll buy it for. He can't negotiate it, whether his crop's great or whether it's half-ass, he gets the exact same amount of money. So, that used to be our money crop, and now it's just like it is what it is.
I'm gonna ask. I might sound stupid when I'm asking this, but all this stuff they're coming out with now, these Zens and Velos and all this smokeless shit they're coming out with. There's no tobacco that's grown that's involved in the production, any of that stuff, is there?
No.
Okay, yeah.
No. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to come out eventually. Hadn't come out yet. Maybe it has. You'd be better off smoking a damn cigarette than that shit.
I figured that there's something that had to be wrong with it,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the wife smokes cigarettes. She smokes about 2 or 3 packs a day. I wish she'd quit. But every time I try to bring it up or talk to her about it, all I hear is, a preaching lesson about my beer.
Well, listen, I could
Like,
quit drinking beer today. I could quit drinking Dr. Peppers today.
I'm like, beer ain't gonna give you, cancer, but all right.
But look here, this right here. Did I put in my mouth every day? Now I'd fight you if you took that from me. I'm serious. I'm serious. That it's and I tell people, and I know y'all gonna make a damn joke out of this. I don't believe I'm addicted to nicotine. I don't believe I am. But what I'm addicted to, since the time I was 15 years old playing baseball, I've been dipping.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to having something in my jaw. Now, if I said that around certain people, they'd call me you know what they call me.
Yeah.
But
not that part of the jaw.
Exactly. But even when I have it in my mouth like I do right now, you can't tell. It's not like I'm like that. You know what I'm saying?
I can always tell when I'm talking to somebody if I got a dip in it or not, even if they're trying to hide it. I can just tell. But
okay, when the first time you met me, did I have a dip in my mouth?
I'm pretty sure you did.
No, that was
But
just.
that's not like, I didn't look at you and say, look at that. I don't boy's got a dip in his mouth. That's not something I, really even paid attention to, like that really. But Yeah, I dipped when I was in high school, and then right after out of high school, and hell, that shit. Believe it or not, that shit gave me a damn cavity. You believe that? In the, right here, there's two right here. It's got a little filling in it. That comes from them dipping.
Well, I ain't had but 3 cavities in my life. I've been dipping since I was 15.
And my dentist looked at my mouth. This has been about 10 years ago when he was looking at me. He says, I can tell you brushing. He's like, you're doing a good job of that. He's like, there's a little bit of sugar buildup. He said, and it's just here. He said, I can't. He said, I don't know where it's coming from. He said, he's like, do you chew a lot of gum? I said, nah. He's like, are you sucking on hard candy? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not in the damn nursing home. No. I mean, no. He was like, I don't know. Are you drink? He said, I drink diet drinks and stuff. And he's like, I don't know what it is. And I got to thinking, I'm like, it's damn beer.
Really?
It's got to be where this is coming from. He's talking about, but
Well, let me ask you this question. We'll talk about
you
your
got to be pretty damn good to be able to identify that.
talk about your Rockabilly channel. I giggle every time you.
I got to get that thing back up and going again. You know, I really enjoy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I enjoy doing that almost as much or more than doing the college football stuff. But I mean, it's just I can't in this truck I drive and stuff. You know, like people's like, well, you drive around all over the place when you work in your ship. You ought to be able to go. I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, you can't take his box truck and prop that up somewhere and do a video. You can't take. You just can't. You can't. And I'm on the go so much because my route goes from. I don't know if you know a lot about the upstate. I'm in the upper end of Pickens County, up near Pickens and
Yeah, it's a shit. Well, I know that about it, but keep
well,
going.
it is that too. Pickens and Liberty and all this area up here, and I go all the way straight down through Pickens County, all the way to the bottom. I'll go into Anderson County, Williamston, Pelzer, Piedmont, and then into Greenville County. I go back up White Horse Road, all the way up to Travelers Rest, and I actually work a Dollar General that's 5 miles from the North Carolina state line up there. That's got a Travelers Rest address. So I mean, I'm all over the place, and the traffic up here is horrendous. I mean, anyway, you
Well,
can get started early in the morning, which is good. And that's good for me because usually early in the morning, my first stops they're around Easley and Powdersville, and over in that area, and that traffic gets bad pretty quick. So it's good for me to be out of there by about 7:30, and on the way to like Travelers Rest. But you can't avoid it all.
well,
Powdersville is one of the worst. That's right between Greenville and Anderson. So I mean, there's just no time for me to stop and do that stuff. But I like doing it. I really do.
well, we do, and I appreciate the hell out of the conversation, but well, I think we need to get back on football because that's what some of our viewers are wanting to see. But my point bringing up with the Rockabilly channel. My point about the Rockabilly channel is, and I've got a question for you. And you know, I'm Redneck Dr. Field. Isn't that the title you gave me one time? Redneck Dr. Field?
I believe it was.
Yeah. That how do you eat a double stacked cheeseburger with everything on it, including chili, but you order a Diet Coke? Now, what the hell purpose is that?
I don't know because that's what I've always drank.
Okay.
I started drinking diet drinks when I was in like elementary school because that was all my mom would have in the house. She'd have Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, whatever. I don't even think we even had the hell wasn't even Diet Coke when I was in elementary. It's like Tab or something. But anyway, it was Diet Pepsi, and then she didn't even like that. She didn't really like me having that. And then I got into like the Diet Cheer wine, and then it evolved into I always drank Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew, I've been drinking that for 30 years.
Here's what I want you to do one time. Make sure
And I was just like, I ain't never, drank a regular drink.
I want you to do this. I want you to do your food review, or you buy it and show like going into the restaurant, and then you always get in. You normally go to a parking lot when you eat it, and you're in.
I need to get a GoPro. Is what I need to get.
Well, I want you to bring that food home, okay? And I want you to sit on your porch or wherever you're sitting, and I want you to pull it up and talk about the way it looks. You know, I want you to talk about all of that, and then I want you to pick up and say, I'm gonna drink a damn glass of Jack Daniels with this instead of a Diet Coke.
Oh shit, dude. You hadn't seen any of those live streams that I did back in like 2020, 2021 and stuff where I was taking a shot every time we scored, have you?
I have.
I did one in I think it was when was the year Carolina beat Auburn at home? It wasn't the COVID year, but it was the year we played them at home when Mike Bobo was their OC. Was that 2021?
21, yeah.
Yeah, we
When
were
he bailed on,
underdogs and we beat them. And I was taking a bunch of shots during that game, and dude, I didn't even know that we'd won. I woke up at like 12:30 in the morning. I was like, oh shit! I looked at my thing was still streaming, and I looked at my phone. I'm like, damn, we won. And the next day, we had a Robin Kell show, and Uncle Lou called into it. He's like, to ask me about that game last night. He's like, let me ask you a question. He said, how excited were you that you guys won? And I was like, I was very excited. I was happy. He's like, what was your favorite play in the game? And I was like, it's the one where we took the lead in the fourth quarter. He's like, no, it wasn't. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you didn't see it. I was like, oh, I saw it. He's like, no, you didn't. He's like, because I watched you
I did
not
too.
watch it.
You know what? That's when I actually started following you. You literally passed out, and all you could see was your belly going up and down. You were knocked slam out.
He said, I watched you not watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that was fun.
All right, what's everybody think about the 9
That's what I was going to say.
SEC opponent schedule? What's everybody think about that?
Hold on a second.
I think it's good as long as everybody else gets. I'm like Beamer. I don't get as long as everybody else is doing it and they're going to stick to the rule, and the college football playoffs are going to do what they said they're going to do and reward teams that play tougher schedules. But I'll have to see that when I believe it.
Well, Chuck and I had that conversation. Chuck, give your opinion on it.
Yeah, like I said, I think I'm for it because Beamer preaches competition a lot, and I feel like if you're going to compete in the SEC, if you play in these top tier teams in the SEC, it just makes you better prepared. If you make the playoffs, so I'm all for it.
What do y'all think about this too? I mean, you got coaches out there making $8, $9, $10 million a year, and you got players making $1 million a year sometimes too. I mean, I don't have a problem with them playing another difficult game.
No.
Here's what I don't trust. I don't trust the playoff committee.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't, because last year was absolute garbage.
No, that sucked.
That was garbage. At the end of the day, Chuck and I discussed this earlier today on the telephone. The issue I have is this. Again, I don't trust them. But number two, if the quote-unquote 2-loss is your cap limit, even though they say that they're going to change. Well, they said they're going to change last year, but they didn't. They're liars. But if your 2 losses is the cap limit, you know how many teams from the SEC is going to come out of the season with 2 losses? Probably about damn 2. It ain't going to be 4 or 5. It's going to be about damn 2. So, yeah, I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot, like you said, Rooster, unless everybody else does it.
Well, the other problem is, too, we're going to lose games that we as Gamecock fans like watching. Like, the North Carolina thing's not going to happen. NC State's probably not going to happen.
Miami, they have Miami scheduled next year and the year after. That's probably not going to happen because they're not going to schedule 9 conference games and then have Clemson too. And Miami,
no.
And Miami, if ACC follows and goes to 9 games, Miami probably don't want to play that game either.
Yeah,
well,
that game's toast right there. That thing's
here's
done,
what
that thing's donezo.
Here's what I don't want to see, because y'all know I'm a homer. And, yeah, I didn't graduate from the University of South Carolina. I didn't. I am a Coastal Carolina guy. I am a College of Charleston guy. I am a South Carolina State guy. I'm a Citadel kind of guy. If we can play them every year and pay them $1 million, they need that money, Bo. They need that money.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are we playing
Damn
Towson next year?
Damn playing, whoever from the DMV area. I don't give a shit about them. If you're going to play a team and pay them, there needs to be an in-state school.
Yeah.
I saw that. On the schedule, Towson. I'm like, that's in Maryland. And I'm like, why are they on the schedule? And I'm like, somebody knows somebody that works there, or that's just wild. Wow. It makes about as much sense as Florida's playing Long Island University in their opener.
I'm like, what the hell?
Like, what, you can't play Bethune-Cookman or Florida A&M? Fuck.
Shit, South Carolina, if instead of going out of state, go play Newberry. Call Newberry, say, hey, we'll give you $1 million to come play. You know?
I don't know. Newberry might get destroyed.
Well, the thing of it is everybody thinks that just because the SEC is going to a 9-game schedule, that's going to eliminate that week game in November. No, it's not.
No, that game's going to be there.
Look at South Carolina's schedule this year. And the November game, the week November game against Coastal Carolina is still sitting there, even though you're playing 2 smaller schools. It's not
the thing was
scheduling that.
These Big Ten people, they love to point and laugh and talk about, well, Alabama's playing Mercer, somebody's playing the Citadel. Well, you got Penn State doesn't play. They don't play an out-of-conference power opponent. Neither did Ohio State last year. Neither did Michigan the year before that. Neither does Rutgers. I mean, you can go down the whole line. They all do it. But the Alabama's supposed to be held to another standard because they play in Mercer. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, hell, Indiana bought out Virginia. They don't even want to play Virginia. Like, really?
That guy's a turd. I wish that he'd fall on his damn face and win about 5 games this year, but I don't think he will. I think he'll probably still keep on winning 10, 11 games a year because he won last year, and that was with all transfers from James Madison. And now, if he's able to bring in a couple more transfer portal classes like that, eventually they're going to be able to start recruiting better because people will want to come play there, and he'll start building a power there, which, I guess it's good. Indiana should be good in football. It shouldn't just be a basketball.
Well, the ACC man's freaking out. Well, we got an odd number. Well, you fucked that up with Notre Dame to start with.
Yeah.
But secondly, Memphis is running around trying to pay $300 million to a conference to get in. Sign Memphis up.
I tell you what,
even number.
I tell you what, football program just fell off the damn map about 10, 20 years ago, and then tried to come back a little bit, but couldn't quite do it. Is in the shitter now. Is damn Virginia. What the hell happened to them?
I don't know.
They used to be good. They were the first team in the ACC. Remember, Florida State won every conference game they played for like the first 3 or 4 years they were in the ACC.
No Cavaliers.
Virginia was the first team to beat them. They did it on a Thursday night in '95. I was there. I remember sitting there watching that game with my friends. I'm like, man, they're legit. But I probably didn't say legit back then. Probably said they're pretty damn good. But they just kind of went down the shitter.
Well,
anyone they care about football.
Yeah, and anyone that's paid attention would have understand why South Carolina is no longer with Under Armour. Have y'all seen that piece of shit coach they got up there in Maryland begging for money?
No, Loxley.
Yeah, the owner of Under Armour is going to back Maryland no matter what, but he's out there begging friends to show up, needing money. Under Armour was going down. Their stocks are horrible. That's why that deal they didn't want it again. They got Notre Dame and Maryland as probably the last 2 Under Armour schools.
But do you know why we ended up with that contract though, Rich?
Yes, because Donati went to school with some upper executive at Nike.
No. I'm not talking about Nike.
Yes, he did.
How we ended up with the Under Armour contract.
Oh, they threw out a bunch of money back in the day. I know that.
Because in 2007, we came out as one of the only colleges to support and wear that brand. They gave us a little bit of money, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. But the Gamecocks came out with Under Armour. Well, 2008, 9, and 10, we were wearing, who was it, Adidas or whoever it was? I can't remember who it was.
No, it wasn't Adidas.
We had Russell as
Russell.
uniforms,
Yeah.
and
What
we had
bike was it?
and we had Reebok cleats because
Yeah,
Russell
I
didn't
mean,
make
hell, it could have been and one. Shit, I don't know. But at the end of the day, when Under Armour came out in 2011, 2012, and they're going to sign contracts with teams, they appreciated what we did for them in 2007. And so they gave us the biggest contract.
Well, Spurrier wouldn't wear Russell.
No,
He went and got his own local people to make his own shirts.
correct. But he
somebody,
did.
He wouldn't wear it.
somebody in the comments on my video I did yesterday where I was laughing at the Tennessee people who was hooting and hollering about that 4-star dude flipping back up to them, said, congratulations on your Nike he wasn't a big old long diatribe. Your Nike contract for $2 million. He's like, Tennessee walked away from Nike for $2.2 million. I just commented back. And I pinned it because I like to pin comments from stupid people. I was like, I don't give a shit about any of this. I'm ready for week 0 tomorrow. How about you?
Well,
Shut up.
a bigger part in that Nike deal too, though, is Asia Wilson is a Nike basketball player.
Correct.
She's a market for Nike to, like, it's a different thing with South Carolina women's basketball because it's a market for Nike to get into with young ladies.
What was it y'all that was discussing whether if we got the Nike deal about if South Carolina would be able to get that Jordan branded?
No. I wanted the Jordan brand. That's two different companies.
Okay.
You have the
Still all
Jordan
made by
brand,
Nike.
then you have Nike, but Nike backs the Jordan brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a subsidiary of Nike.
Correct.
Yep.
Right.
But,
and I don't know.
but y'all were saying you didn't think that Michael Jordan would go for that because he shouldn't have anything against South Carolina, though. I mean,
No, he ain't got a damn thing against South Carolina.
yeah.
But if Jordan's going to do it, if his brand's going to back you, it's his brand only. It's not going to be his brand and Nike. It's going to be him.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But see,
Yeah.
the Jordan brand was kind of weird because at one time there was a deal where they only backed one team per conference. Now that changed with realignment because I think Oklahoma was a Jordan brand in the Big 12. Now they're in the SEC. Florida was the only Jordan brand in the SEC. Just like North Carolina's the only Jordan brand in the ACC. There's something weird about the way the Jordan contract is written, and I don't know if that's in an agreement with Nike. But I think Oklahoma, I'm trying to remember last year, there was some weird thing that they would have to use Nike in football, but they could use Jordan in the other sports or something. I don't know how it worked out. Maybe they still had Jordan on their football uniforms. We were whooping them so bad I didn't pay attention to their uniforms.
Well, Chuck and I discussed this earlier today, and here's what I can't figure out. First of all, before I go down that path, let me say this. Nike is not Nike without Michael Jordan. We all know that.
Right.
There is no huge Nike without Jordan. Okay. That's why he's got his own brand and it's backed by Nike, but he owns it. He owns his damn own tennis shoe. The Air Jordan. I mean, that is his tennis shoe, even though Nike makes it. But why in the hell aren't we seeing people like, hell, I don't know, New Balance, a damn tennis shoe that I love to wear. I love New Balances. Where are they at in this ball game? I mean, they make athletic wear.
I don't know. I know I wear this one brand. What is it? Skechers. I wear them damn things all the time. I buy a new pair of these like every 3 months till I wear them out, and then I'll get another pair.
Hey, I don't want to get this show in trouble, but I hate Nikes because they ain't worth a shit.
Yep.
You know what shoe I was thinking about the other day because I heard somebody mention it somewhere. Remember them kangaroos shoes from back in the 80s and 90s that had a little zipper on the side where you could put your change and stuff. I was like, I wonder if I still a thing. And I Googled it and looked, and sure enough, they still make damn shoes. Now they don't have the pockets on them anymore, but it's still a footwear company.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
I went through a stage.
It's based out of Missouri. What if somebody ought to sign them up for a deal?
Well, I went through a stage. I don't know about y'all, but I went through a stage. You know, I'm a country boy. I wear boots most of the time. I do
Yeah.
wear tennis shoes. Nowadays, I wear New Balances and On Clouds. A woman's shoe, I
Yeah.
wear On Clouds. Okay?
Yeah, a lot of people like those too.
They're damn good. But back in the day, if you didn't have you a pair of Airwalks, you wasn't nobody.
Oh God, that's a damn blast from the past.
Ain't it? Ain't it?
That,
I had to go to the
that was
surf
before.
shop
That
Myrtle
was
Beach
before
to
the
find them.
Vans.
Yeah, I had to go to the surf shop Myrtle Beach to find them.
Airwalks.
But the thing with these brands is like Jackpot was saying, you're paying these kids $1 million, $2 million, some cases 2.5, 3 million, whatever it is. It's a safety thing, and that was the thing that South Carolina fell out with Under Armour back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, whatever it was, is the shoes were falling apart. Now Under Armour changed that. They would come in and they actually checked all the shoes, did everything for the teams in the universities. But you can't just throw random stuff on these kids because it is a recruiting tool for young kids, and it's a safety thing for those guys too, because they need their legs, their ankles, their feet, and all that. Remember when South Carolina went through all those soft tissue injuries on the ankles and
Well, right, but
but
that's never been confirmed. It was because of the shoe either.
no, it was confirmed that the Under Armour shoes. This came from the guy that runs all the equipment at South Carolina. He was on Inside the Gamecocks a couple weeks ago talking about it. That the shoes were coming apart. They were a safety issue.
But we didn't start wearing
I'm
those
not
shoes.
saying you're
We
wrong.
didn't start
I don't
wearing
know
those
how that
shoes in
company didn't. I don't know how
2012.
they didn't go out of business.
We didn't start wearing those shoes till 2012.
That's not true, Ronald.
We wore them in 2007.
Go back and look when the guy that runs the equipment for South Carolina sat right on inside the Gamecocks and had a long conversation. That man has been with the Gamecocks forever. He's even talked about the problems when they had to switch the jerseys because of the color. How many more problems they have with basketball?
His name Matt something.
The logos on they have more problems with basketball because the logo has to meet a required size. If it's just a little bit too much, they won't let you wear it. That whether that's the Under Armour, the Nike, the Gamecock logo, it's all got to be like 2 inches or something. If
But
it's
that
3 inches, you can't wear them.
Okay, that is an opinion of an equipment guy. If there
That's
was
not a pit. That's the guy that runs all the equipment for South Carolina sports.
okay, that's fine. But if that's the case, there would be a damn lawsuit against kids getting injured.
They came in Under Armour after they had the shoe issue, came into South Carolina. They redesigned their shoes and everything. And then they would come in and monitor and test all their shoes every year.
They
But
had
it
like their
wasn't-
own. They had their own portable traveling shoe cobbler.
Yeah. Hell, golf does it all the time.
I'm sure they do.
I mean,
Hey.
I'm not bucking you, but I'm just saying if you had confirmed cases from doctors that the damn shoe come apart and injured players, that's a damn lawsuit.
Yeah. Hey, to answer your question there, Jordan, Boston College is the only team that uses New Balance for their apparel.
Really?
Yep.
So there is one.
They
Okay.
began in 2021.
Did the owner graduate from Boston College or something?
I don't know.
Probably.
That's why
Probably.
you see the crazy Oregon uniforms and the Under Armour Maryland thing.
Yeah, well, that's Phil
Under
Knight
Armour.
with Oregon and Maryland was.
Well, you remember when Big Tree and all them got and Nick and them was getting recruited and all the shit that went back and forth between South Carolina and Maryland, and
Yep.
that guy, what's his name, Kevin Blank or whatever, was damn paying to have the kids go to basketball games and shit.
Yeah.
Real quick, because I want to ask, because I got to go in a few minutes to go do another live thing with Rep Talk and Uncle Lou.
Oh yeah.
Who the 9 game, the 3 permanent opponents? What's y'all's opinion? Who you think Who you think we're going to draw for the permanents? I got my opinion.
I've got mine.
I think it's going to be Kentucky, Georgia, and either Mizzou or A&M.
I think it's going to be Georgia, Florida, and I hope Kentucky. I hope Vandy over Kentucky.
I would too. Down Georgia and Florida, that could be the shits, dude. Especially, I mean, because if Florida gets a good coach in there and they get on a heater, they could be dangerous. And Georgia's always going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Kentucky stays on because they're kind of outlier.
They're
like
kind
us.
of they're kind of an outlier, and South Carolina doesn't really have a natural rival in the conference. And we've got kind of a little nasty rivalry with them. And the reason I said Mizzou, I just they don't have one either, and
Florida's in that boat too. See, because their natural rivalries FSU outside of Georgia.
Right. Miami's not really it is a rivalry for them, but it's not. Here's something else too that I wanted to pull up with y'all real quick that I wanted to debate because Uncle Lou, this guy contends. What? Oh shit, we're on a live stream. He might be watching. You never know. Hey Lou, but he contends that South Carolina and Georgia's not a rivalry. I disagree. It's not a major rivalry like a Georgia Florida
or Georgia
or a Georgia Auburn, but it is a rivalry. I mean, hell, where Lou lives at down in Augusta, they have a border bash thing on the river every year.
Hey, fact of the matter is, Lou hates South Carolina because where he lives at, he can almost piss to the South Carolina line, and most of the people that live down there are from South Carolina. And matter of fact, he can be in Columbia quicker than he can be in Athens.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think
He says it's not a rivalry, and what defines a rivalry really? I mean, I think everybody, when we didn't play them, like, I can't believe we're not playing Georgia, and the Georgia people were like, I can't believe we're not playing South Carolina anymore. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, it's only for 2 years. Only for 2 years. You'll be back. We'll be back on there to be the sacrificial lamb again soon.
I think it's because South Carolina, being one of the newer teams to the SEC, it's the SEC people that think, well, that's not a rivalry.
But see, they don't realize South Carolina and Georgia played every year since like '75.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We played every year all the way up through I think it was '89 was the last year, and they didn't play in '90 or '91. But then in '92 they started playing again when we joined the conference, and every year. I mean, when South Carolina was an independent. You know who South Carolina had on the schedule when we were an independent that we played every year besides Clemson without fail that was on that schedule every single year? I'm not talking about Georgia. NC State.
Yeah. I like
every year. They played NC State home and away.
Because a lot of people tried to say North Carolina was the rival for South Carolina. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
No. NC State was a bigger rival for us. We hated them. I fucking hated them. In '89, y'all remember this? Todd Ellis went down in that North Carolina game or North Carolina State game, and we were like undefeated. And they went after his knee, knocked him out of the game, killed his season, ended his career, really. And we had to go with a damn backup. You only had like one backup back then. Went out with the backup quarterback, Dickie DeMacy, out of Irmo High School. And this guy was just, I mean, I'm sure he was a good guy, but man, he was up against it. And we didn't win another game except for beating a winless North Carolina team. So I've hated NC State ever since then.
Well, before you get off here, I'm going to give you a little bit of hell, Jackpot. I got to. Just out of friendship and love, okay?
Okay.
You wanted Shane Beamer to be replaced with Dave Doran not too long ago.
I didn't say I wanted him to be replaced with him. I said he was on the list. He was on the list. Look, I don't like NC State, but if I did, I mean,
they suck, dude. What has he done? He's done shit.
I don't know. He's been consistent. Listen, I bet you they'll have a good year this year because they had a shitty year last year.
Let me tell you something. they let you leave the stadium at halftime, and you don't have to get a ticket to come back in for the third and fourth quarter.
At Carter Finley does that?
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yep.
Damn right. Hey, Coastal Carolina don't even allow you to do that.
They just giving you free food, ain't they?
Damn right they are.
Well, there's a caveat to that kind of stuff. I remember when we used to have I used to go to the Greenville Drive games with my son, and I went on a Thursday night because they were going to have it was 99-cent beer night, and I'm like, oh, they're going to serve me beer for 99 cents. I'm like, cool, I'll go. I'm like, let's go. So we went to the ball game. The fucking beer was in a damn like a Dixie
Cup.
like little bathroom cups that you put you water in when you're swishing your toothpaste out.
Mm-hmm.
That was your 99-cent beer cup.
Well, guess what? I'd have drank $100 worth of 99-cent beer cups then.
So there's always something. But yeah.
But I do agree with Jackpot. I don't think it's going to be Texas A&M, but I wouldn't be shocked if.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, I think Texas A&M they'll have Texas,
Oklahoma,
probably one of those other teams
Oklahoma
out there. I
or
don't think they'll get
Arkansas.
OU and Texas. They'll
Probably Arkansas.
Arkansas, because they played them every year in Jerry World, so I guess they thought it was something special. And then they probably play some other team from the East. It was South Carolina. I was just thinking, well, we played every year since they've been in the league. Apparently, we play for some kind of trophy, but nobody's ever seen it.
Yeah.
Well,
The bottom trophy. The hell.
A lot of people like to say we're young to the conference. Well, 1992,
Yeah, shit.
we were young back then, but not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. I
no,
mean,
but you don't have like I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Auburn and Georgia, where it's the oldest rivalry or whatever in the SEC. That they want to keep. Now, to me, a lot of people think Georgia Auburn's the bigger rivalry than Georgia Florida. It just depends on where you live in Georgia. It's like South Carolina. Depends on where you live in.
Yeah,
South
if you
Carolina.
live like in Columbus, Georgia, you might even be an Auburn fan.
hey, y'all might think I'm crazy as hell. I'd love to play Ole Miss and or Mississippi State every damn year.
I'd take some Mississippi State action.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't played them in almost 10 years.
It's been a hot minute.
No, we
Yeah,
played.
them.
we played them.
That was Muschamp's second game.
No,
We played
Carolina.
Mississippi State in
That's how
2023.
long it's been.
Yeah, we played them in 23.
I was at that
They had
game.
the little receiver that.
Oh,
that lit us up.
Damn, how'd I forget that?
Look, that Leggett had a big game in that.
Now that was old. What was that quarterback's name? Will Rogers.
Yeah, I
Went
think
and watched.
so.
Now, I don't know how the hell I forgot that.
And they had that one little wide receiver we couldn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with the dreads.
Yeah.
And my second SEC team, just because I spent a lot of time up there duck hunting, I love Arkansas, y'all. It wouldn't hurt my feelings to play Arkansas every year.
I like Sam Pittman. I wouldn't say I like Arkansas.
I love Sam Pittman. If they fire him, the hell with them.
Well, my three's Georgia, Vandy, and Kentucky. That's who I'd like. But I feel like it's going to be some. I think it's going to be Texas A&M or Missouri, one of the two. And then
The hell with Missouri. I hate Missouri. Boy, I hate Missouri.
I just think that's probably what they're going to do. They'll probably stick us with probably one or both of them.
The reason I say Missouri is because they love that Battle of Columbia stuff, and ESPN kind of promoted that quite a bit last year. So.
Arkansas was the permanent opponent before A&M came around.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't understand. They should be. I mean, I can't talk shit because but they should be better at football than what they are. I mean, they've got a history.
They tried to give us LSU and they shut that down. They said, no, we're not playing Georgia, LSU. And so we ended up with A&M.
Arkansas's got a history. They should be better than what they are. And that should be like a top 10 team every year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm going to get off here so I can get this other thing fired up and get on the Uncle Lou stream.
Appreciate you, Jackpot.
All right, guys.
Jackpot. You have a
I
good one,
appreciate it. I'll see y'all later.
All right, buddy.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You too, man.
All right.
All right.
Hey, we got our man tonight. So
my buddy Ryan, SEC football tube, he said he wanted to come on earlier. Ryan, you still want to come on? Comment if you do.
But yeah, it'll be funny who they pair us up with. They'll give us some off the wall. I mean, who else is out there? I mean, Florida, of course, plays Florida State. They're kind of an outlier like us.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia's the other one, but like I said, Georgia's got Auburn and Florida. It would make sense to have South Carolina, but that don't mean SEC does shit that makes sense all the time.
No, I don't. Listen, and I don't want Tennessee, just because.
I'd rather have Florida because it's closer to home for me. I go to the game.
Well, hey, it'd be better for me because I can come stay with you. You know what I'm saying? It'd be easier for me. But just earlier today, like 1 o'clock, my dad calls and he was like, "Hey man, what you doing next Saturday?" I'm like, "Watching football." He was like, "Well, the tickets I put in for in Atlanta, I got them." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, you want to go Saturday, stay the night, and then we'll go to the game Sunday, and then stay Sunday night because everybody's off on Monday because it's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I mean, I can, but, you know, I was going to do a live and all of that stuff. He was like, well, the hell with you. Can I get your kids and carry your kids? I'm like, sure. So my kids are going to the Virginia Tech game.
Well, who's after us? Who plays Sunday night after us?
Miami and
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. And they still got tickets for sale on that game. They didn't.
Miami Stadium's never selling out.
No, they're not selling out. They're giving away tickets.
Why Miami will never be named to join the SEC is because they do not have a home stadium. SEC loves environments.
Yeah, there's no environment there.
No, I mean, hell, even USF over here in Tampa's building their own stadium. It's ridiculous that Miami don't have one, and they can't say, well, the property or whatever. I'm like, dude, I've been through Miami many times. There are areas of Miami that needs to be torn down and have something built.
Well, and I've told y'all this before. My home school, I am a South Carolina Heart Garnet and Black. I bleed Garnet and Black. Been going to the stadium since the first time I remember was 1985. They say I went a couple times before then. 1980, I was old enough to remember it. But Coastal Carolina is my school. It is.
Yeah, you're one of them PD dudes from over there around the Sand Gnats and stuff, part of South Carolina.
Well, I mean, I graduated from there, so I mean, come on. But at the end of the day, they got a damn stadium. How the hell does Miami not have a stadium?
They said, well, Coral Gables, where the University of Miami's at. Yeah, around that area is kind of ritzy and all that. Most stadiums are built in the worst area of town you can build one. Like Rob likes to dog on South Carolina where their stadium's at. I'm like, Rob, have you ever been to an NFL stadium, dude? They're all in terrible
Oh, hell. Bank of America Stadium downtown Charlotte, dude, it is awful.
Well, I can tell you where the Bucs Stadium is ain't great either. I can tell you where the Citrus Bowl in Orlando is in the hood.
Now, I've been to the Citrus Bowl. I know where you're talking about that. I've been there.
Jacksonville's is not in the greatest place, but I mean, South Carolina's at least spending $350 million to renovate the stadium and the area around it, and they're building a bunch of stuff around it that's supposed to be nice.
Well, when we acquired that land, if you do your history on it, we acquired that land. It was a poverty area. Obviously, train tracks. That's where a lot of the lower end of commerce was because it was cheaper land. That's why they built the train tracks through it. And South Carolina acquired it. And then, long story short, they opened the fairgrounds because the state owned the fairgrounds right beside it, et cetera, et cetera. And now they've acquired all around. Do you remember back in the day, Chuck and Rooster? You remember back in the day, let's say, I don't know, 95 through 2000, there's a lot of times when you went to the stadium, you parked in somebody's yard. I mean, just like a little 2-bedroom house. You paid them $10 to park in their front yard. You remember that, Rooster?
Oh yeah.
Now, I mean, there wasn't much around there at all. But now they've got all these condominium and complexes and all of it. It wasn't like that. It hadn't always been like that.
I remember going to watch Harold Green and Mike Dingle play and sneaking mini bottles in my socks. Shit.
Yeah.
What's up, SECFT? How you doing, buddy?
Having the girls fill up their hairspray bottles with alcohol.
Yeah.
How you gentlemen doing tonight?
What's up, Ryan? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. You know, I gotta say this. When it comes to the 9-game SEC schedule, I got mixed feelings on it. I do. I would personally like to see Carolina keep Kentucky. I'd like to keep them. I like to keep Vandy around just because it's fun to whip up on them every year. And I'd like to see them do either Georgia or Tennessee. I'm not sure how Florida would really do because I think they're gonna, have a little bit more with the rivalries. I think Florida might be a little harder to do. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'd like to see. I could really give. I couldn't really care much about Missouri, honestly. I mean, and I don't say that just because they've beaten us a lot outside of last year, but I just feel like either Georgia or Tennessee. I feel like I'd rather have those back because Georgia. Again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the Carolina-Georgia rivalry is as big as their rivalry with Florida, but there's a lot of bad blood and hatred. So I think to say that's not a rivalry, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Well, I think with the Florida deal, it'll depend on how they look at Florida LSU.
Right.
Because that's kind of been some bad blood the past few years or whatever. So they're not going to give Florida's not going to get Georgia LSU in their same little bracket. It'd be hard for me to believe they'd do that to them. But it would make a good 3-team permanent thing. But I don't know if they'd go Georgia, LSU, and South Carolina for Florida.
I do agree with your Vandy assessment, but I have an opinion on that. When Vandy does win, it's not going to look good because eventually they're going to beat us.
Yeah, when they win, it's going to be an upset. I'm just going to say it because, look, this year, I mean, I don't think that they're going to beat us this year. I will say this, Pavia, despite some of the things he said, I mean, that guy, he can kill you if you're not ready for him. He can.
Yeah, but you got to have more than a quarterback.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, and they got that other tight end too, Eli Stowers, I think.
Yeah.
Dude can cause some trouble, but this is my thing on Vandy. Outside of those two players, who else do they really have? I mean, that's the thing. I don't think they're going to be very good this year, at least not as good as they were last year. But I don't think that it's going to be like a 30, 40-point blowout, if that makes sense. And I'll say this about the Virginia Tech game. I want y'all to convince me of something. Please, please, please give me a reason not to be worried about that game. Because for whatever reason, I don't know.
Their running backs in a boot. They got 30 brand new guys. Their best players left. I think one of the offensive linemen down at their best offensive linemen's at LSU or somewhere now.
Right.
I think you're reading too many Virginia Tech fans on Twitter.
Yeah,
they're not that good.
Yeah, they had to redo their offense and defensive line. And like Rooster said, a couple of them went to SEC schools, some of their better players. So
yeah,
y'all hold on just a second. I got to take a pause for the calls, but I'm going to give you a reason. Just a second.
All right. And Kyron Drones, I mean, we don't know exactly how healthy he is. He's banged up all last year. So
well, there's also a sneaky thing that nobody's talked about. It's kind of under the radar. That's a turf field inside a dorm. Normally, the bigger, faster teams, that's an advantage.
Yeah.
So with Lenore Seller's speed and you're putting him on turf, that's an advantage. That's even a bigger advantage for South Carolina.
Right. And let me tell you guys this. On the field, I strongly believe South Carolina should win that game by double digits. There's, in my opinion, the only way South Carolina loses this game is if they shit the bed. I'm just going to be honest. That's what I'm worried about is history. That's the only reason that gets me a little worried because we're known, unfortunately, and I think I made a video. I think that's got to end. We've got to start the season strong this year. We've got to because Virginia Tech, they lost a lot last year. They got new coordinators. They got a coach on the hot seat. I mean, that team, I just don't see them coming in and beating you head to head. And I'm not trying to, overlook anybody, but South Carolina just, I mean, shoot, Old Dominion last year, I went to that game, and I'll tell y'all something about that too. So there was a guy, I sat in the club seats. There was a guy when Old Dominion scored and took the lead. That guy threw his hat down, grabbed his son, and he just left. He left because he said, "We're losing. I'm not going to sit here and watch us lose to Old Dominion."
Well, everybody thinks we should fear drones. Well, he can scramble, and South
Ah,
Carolina has problems with this type quarterback. Didn't we play Jackson Arnold last year? Didn't he do it
yeah. I
correctly?
mean,
Did we
I
play
was
Reed?
on.
Wasn't Reed on fire after the LSU win for Texas A&M? He came into South Carolina and really did nothing. They actually had to go back
Yeah,
to the other quarterback.
Yeah, did good.
yeah. He
We've
looked like
played
a
we've played much better against mobile quarterbacks under Beamer the last couple of years. They haven't really. South Carolina's not giving up a ton of running yards to quarterbacks. Our biggest problem is giving up yards to running backs, and it's missed tackles and it's up the middle, and that's what LSU put on us last year at the end of that game. They just kept running Caleb Durham at us, and we couldn't tackle the guy.
yeah.
You know,
Again,
Uh,
the only thing, not to interrupt y'all. I'm sorry if I'm talking over y'all, but the only thing that worries me a little bit is just historically in the home openers, we just come out looking inept offensively. I mean, I still feel Carolina should have beat Illinois by 10 points.
no,
We
I
just
agree.
completely,
Shane got out mind gamed in that game.
yeah.
That's all that was. But
I just, after seeing Old Dominion and everything,
I'm gonna give you
the
three
only
reasons.
thing that worries me is
I'm
just
gonna
the
give you
history.
3 reasons why you shouldn't work. You ready?
Ready.
Number 1 reason. Shane Beamer. Have you watched Any Given Saturday?
Is
The,
that
the,
the
the Netflix series?
oh yeah, the SEC series? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. What did he say? What did he say? Do you remember? But I do.
Probably
If
not.
you don't, I remember.
What was
He
it? You
said,
tell
I
me.
love Blacksburg. I was born in South Carolina. He was born in Charleston. His daddy was the coach of the Citadel when he was born. Okay. The first away game my daddy ever coached as the head coach of Virginia Tech was at the University of South Carolina, Williams-Brice State. So he loved South Carolina. He said, I love Virginia Tech because I was raised there. I learned to play there. I coached there. But there, I am Beamer's boy. I'm not Shane. Okay? Remember that.
Right.
Remember
Baby
that
Beamer.
statement, okay?
Right.
Remember
Baby
that
Beamer.
statement. So that's number 1. Number 2, we have a quarterback named Lenore Sellers. That's number 2. Number 3, Shane Beamer's first head coaching job should have been at Virginia Tech, but they hired Fuente. So there's some hell hate there. Just remember those 3 statements right there.
Well,
Right.
and I do think people have fear from Old Dominion, but I'll tell you why. It was Lenore Sellers' very first game. Dylan Stewart's really starting. Dylan Stewart's very first game. All these guys are seasoned now. And hell, I told people I want Virginia Tech to throw the ball against our DB room. I want South Carolina to keep Jones in a pocket and make him throw, because when we did that with Milroe last year in Alabama, Milroe kept throwing interceptions.
I can't disagree with you none. If we can make them throw, the ball's in our court. As far as our DBs, now listen, y'all, we got the best DBs in the country. Hey, nobody knows them. All they think about is Emmett Maury. And he's going, all right, well, wait and see. Wait and see.
And that linebacker room is longer, faster than last year. And people say, well, we don't know how they play. They're inexperienced. They're all 6'3" and 6'4". They're all 240 pounds.
And I'm going to bring something else up.
They can play.
I'm going to bring something else up. Have y'all noticed Shane Beamer's press conferences of how lackadaisical he is? Like how loose he is? Like he's not uptight. He's not, it's almost like I'm relaxed, dude. I got it. It's almost like a relaxed confidence. Like I got something and y'all don't know it yet, but I know it. And then you watch Mike Shula. This dude looks like he's drinking a beer on his back porch. Okay? I mean, that's how relaxed he is. Chuck even asked me, he was like, have you ever met Mike Shula in person? I'm like, yeah, he's a hell of a guy. He was like, he seems like he's got no personality. I said, no, he's got plenty of personality. Plenty. But y'all, it's just like, y'all might not know me because y'all remember me back from Alabama, but I'm about to show y'all who the hell I am. You know what I mean? It's almost like a relaxed confidence that our coaching staff has, and of course, Clayton White's almost the same way. He's like, that ain't.
They ain't saying nothing this year.
No, they ain't saying.
They're not telling you anything.
They ain't even giving that damn bullshit coach speak, Rooster. They're not.
The kids ain't even talking, because normally you can ask the kids and they'll talk about, well, who's kind of impressed you out of your room, like the wide receiver kids and all these guys. They've asked them what they say. Oh, they're all playing good. They asked the DBs, how's that wide receiver room? Oh, they're all good. They won't give a name. They ain't dropping nothing. The little bit of hints you get out of the 15 minutes of practice that a lot of the guys get to watch, that's all you're getting, and you're getting hints. They're not.
I mean, the whole week. Let's all be honest. The most thing that any of us can talk about the whole week was that Mike Shula's got a rubber dog turd on his desk. And if you did something stupid, he tells you to go get it and put it on the podium. He said, you just shit on me. Yeah. Okay. That was the most interesting thing.
You also notice Lenore said he hasn't had to go retrieve the dog poop yet.
As much, yeah.
As much.
Yeah.
As much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think me and you talked about this, Jordan. I mean, this year's been different, man. You don't hear the coach speak. I mean, you don't hardly hear anything after practice. There hasn't been quite as many interviews. It's like Beamer knows something that we don't know, and we're going to be in store for something special, it seems like.
This reminds me, y'all, and I'm not comparing our program to this program by no means, but this reminds me of a Nick Saban run team. They don't say shit. The players don't say shit. Nobody says anything. And that's what it reminds me of. And almost like, all right.
And we definitely got one player that ain't saying nothing and don't want to say nothing. And he's the baddest man on our defense.
What, Ceases?
No. Stewart.
No,
have you watched any of his interviews this year?
Now, I watched the one with him and Garcia, and yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to go to that one either.
No, it's almost like, wait, shit, I don't want to be here.
But when they did the one where they have everybody go in and they all set up at the tables and talk and do all that stuff, I forgot who was trying to ask him questions, and he's just looking at them like, dude, I don't even want to talk to y'all right now.
Yeah,
I want to hit somebody.
Yeah, he's all business.
But you know what? We got another Kilgore too that's going to cause some disruption.
Oh, Gerald?
Yes, sir.
But that's
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying. You're not hearing a whole lot. I mean, they kind of broke out a little bit about Cisse and he can play everywhere and how fast he is and that stuff. But you
Yeah.
haven't heard a lot about the linebackers. You haven't really heard them talk about the tight ends. You haven't really, other than maybe some changes on the offensive line with Big Tree starting right tackle and Shed going in starting as a freshman. You ain't heard nothing.
And you know what? I believe this wholeheartedly. Well, I say I believe it. I'm going to be honest. I know this wholeheartedly. I know this factual. Out the goat's mouth. Okay. Personally, everybody wants to talk about Sewell. Well, Sewell. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I think Sewell is that guy? Yes, he is. He is that guy. But guess what? Nobody's talking about. Nobody's asking. Everybody wants to ask about Sewell. They're not asking about the guys behind Sewell. We 3 deep ready to roll, brother. We 3 deep ready to roll.
Well, they said Augusta did really good in the second scrimmage.
Watch what I'm telling you.
But nobody
Everybody's
knows.
saying, well, if Faison gets cleared, South Carolina's got a chance. Well, guess what? Let them think that because he's not going to get cleared. He's not going to get cleared about the game 2 or 3. I've said that for 6 months, and I still believe that. If he gets cleared next week, I'm glad I'm wrong.
We don't need him till we start the SEC schedule.
But let me tell you something, fellas. I know this for a fact. We ain't hurting at running back, gentlemen. We ain't hurting at all.
No.
At all. We ready.
Well, we were hurting against Illinois, though. Illinois would have never ran that defense they were running if Rocket Sanders would have played in that football game.
But that's last year. I'm talking about this year.
Well, I'm just saying the fools that's going to go out there and try to run that type of defense against South Carolina, and they're going to try it. They're going to put 2 spies out there to try to spy on Lenore like Illinois did because they're going to watch that tape, and they're going to get smoked by running backs. They don't realize that
They don't get
Rocket
smoked
didn't
by
play, and Attaway was on a bum leg when he played in that game.
How many times I told y'all over the past 2 years my guy at running back? How many times I done told you? Y'all remember? What's his name?
You talking about Matthew Fuller?
Nope.
Jawan Howell.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, if they try to sit back and play that defense, we're gonna tear them apart with the running back, and Lenore's is gonna sit back there and pick them apart because we got receivers. We got receivers that's ready to go. So
I know we got one.
we got more than one. We got a bunch. We got at least 6 receivers. At least.
We got one that I guarantee you, if my damn sides are taking a licking like a damn anvil right across the middle of the damn field, his little ass. And he catches the ball every time, too.
Yeah. And that's what Shula wants Sellers to do. He wants him to sit back there, and if the route's there, the receiver's open, throw it. Trust it. That's what he said. He don't want him to just take off and run. He wants him to sit back and see the play unfold and make it.
That to me, by no means am I a coach. But if I was, I would probably coach baseball if I was a coach. I mean, I do my child. But at the end of the day, would you rather, just talking about football, would you rather have a quarterback that throws, let's say, 15 interceptions a year, or a quarterback that runs, gets tackled and sacked, and fumbles the ball 6 times a year? Hell, I'd rather him shoot the damn thing down the field. Because at the end of the day, a 25, 30-yard interception is no different than a damn punt. But a fumble behind the line of scrimmage, that's the worst thing you could do. You know? Shoot
Hurt us against Alabama for sure.
Yeah, shoot it. Shoot it down the field.
Only reason we lost that game was because of all the turnovers.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't do the dumb shit and we got a hot quarterback in the game that's driving us down the field and we get down to the 30-yard line and decide to bring in the backup.
And if y'all remember, one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever had, well, not ever had, but I would say one of the top 5s would probably be, I don't think anybody could argue with him, be Connor Shaw. What was Connor Shaw great at? if he turned the ball over, it was a damn 20-yard ball. It was like a damn punt. You know what I'm saying? So you really didn't lose much. Connor Shaw didn't throw it behind the line of scrimmage as an interception. You know what I mean? He didn't throw a 3-step across the middle route as an interception. If he threw an interception, that some gun was launched. It was way down there.
Did you ever hear G.A. Mangus talk about Connor Shaw on third downs and what he told him?
Yes.
You got one read. If it ain't there, run.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what Sellers ended up doing last year. I guarantee you, half the time he was reading one. If it wasn't there, he was gone because
Listen,
the offensive line wasn't holding up.
Yeah.
Do I
and
think
then-
Dow Loggins was a better coordinator than Satterfield? Yes. Do I think he was a great coordinator? Hell no.
He was behind Mike Shula as far as like NFL offensive coordinator. Mike Shula had a better rating as an NFL offensive coordinator than Dow Loggins did. Those are facts. That's not my opinion. Those are actually facts. He was
Dow Loggins
offensive coordinator.
used our program to get a head coaching gig, and he got it.
He wanted Arkansas.
Yeah.
He's an Arkansas guy. He's waiting to see if he can get to a point where if Sam Pittman loses his job, he'll be interviewed for that job.
Well, and I don't blame him.
No, it was no different than we knew when Mushdump brought all the Georgia guys in here. That's like people now, and I know we should have never hired Muschamp, but does anyone think that Kirby Smart, once that Georgia job came open, wouldn't have left South Carolina for it? Hell yeah.
Oh, hell no. He would have left.
Yeah, damn right he would have left. So even if you had hired him, you'd have had him 3 or 4 years.
You
Until
probably
Rick
wouldn't have had him that
Jones
long.
from Georgia, and they would have came in, offered him the money, and he'd have went home.
We wouldn't have had him that long because soon as we hired him, Georgia would have dumped old Mark Rick, and he'd have been headed to Georgia right away.
And truth really be told, I think that's where Muschamp screwed up by taking the Florida gig. He should have just held out. He should have held out because I believe he'd have been the front runner for the Georgia job. But him taking the Florida gig, getting fired, if you can't win at Florida with that kind of talent, who in the hell would think you could win at South Carolina? I can't wrap my head around that deal. That is a mistake. That is a mistake by Ray Tanner.
Well, Florida's shotting themselves in the foot because they don't really recruit Florida like they should. Everybody else is coming to this state and taking the talent out.
Sure.
I don't know what to. Miami's kind of figured it out because now they're getting all these South Florida guys in their neighborhood. That's when Miami was really good, is when they had all the South Florida guys.
And they were taking inner city guys too that no other college would take.
Yeah, but that's one of the problems with Florida. When they tried to go national recruiting, they let all the talent get out of Florida.
Well,
and now it's a pipeline. These teams have come in and put a pipeline in Florida, and they keep. I mean, you just look around. You don't know where a lot of these kids come from, but you'll see names pop up, and all of a sudden, well, hell, he's out of Florida. He's out of, you know.
Yeah, I mean, our biggest recruiting area. Well, since Beamer's been around, the DMV area, the Maryland, Virginia. That's the DMV. That's what I consider the DMV.
Yeah.
Florida. When Spurrier was around, Florida and Georgia were our 2 biggest recruiting areas. Anybody disagrees with that, something's wrong with you. That's where we got most of our players from.
Oh, yeah. Swearinger.
But what Shane's done is he secured our state now. And he goes to the DMV. And he does go to Georgia. And he does go to Florida, but that's not his main focus points. His main focus points are South Carolina and the DMV area.
Yeah. Virginia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you also look where your staff's from. And you use your staff in the areas where people know who, because they have the high school connections. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know who I want back as a coach?
Who's that?
The historian, the weird dude, that Pete Limbo.
Yeah, he ain't coming back.
Boy, boy, he was good. Now, that was a quirky guy, but I'm telling you, we had some of the best offenses anybody ever seen ever. I mean, even better than Frank Beamer.
Well, I mean, if he lost the job at Buffalo, but I don't see that happening because they played pretty well last year.
Yeah.
Didn't
they win like 9, 10 games?
Something like I don't know if I believe they did.
I liked him, boy. I liked him. I swear I liked him. And listen, I'm not saying Joe DeCamillis is not great. Met Joe personally. Never met Limbo personally, though. I've met Joe personally because now that I'm living back down here and I can go up there all the time. Nice guy, super nice guy, humble guy. I mean, not a fiery guy by no means. Ain't nobody as fiery as Sean Elliott. Now I can tell you that dude would just punch a wall. I mean, he's just a fiery guy. But I think DeCamillis is a good coach, but I just haven't seen that special teams unit what we had 2 years ago. You know.
Yep.
And even our kickers, even though Chuck loved our kicker last year.
I didn't say I loved him. I said he wasn't that bad, man, for a first-year kicker. 71% is not bad when you step on the field for the first time and start kicking footballs in college.
Well,
There's no rhyme or reason that a damn Division I school in the SEC puts a damn walk-on scholarship for a damn kicker that don't kick a damn kick for 3 damn years.
Well, that's your special teams coach that you love. He didn't recruit anybody to take the place when he knew what's his name was leaving after his year, the one that went to Notre Dame. So, see, it all falls back on coaching. You didn't recruit the type of guys that come in there that can contribute. So, it's all part of coaching. That's why we were stuck with the problems the kicker y'all don't like. 71% is not bad.
Well, we didn't help him none either.
Exactly.
What did he miss? A 49 and a 50-yarder?
He was 15 or 21. So.
But I'm saying the end of the game close to the end of the game kicks that he missed was 49, 50 yards.
Y'all gonna make my hair stand up.
Well, no, you just been spoiled, deal maker, to the kickers that we've had at South.
Yeah.
It spoiled all of us.
Yeah, when you got consistent kicker, and then you have to rely on somebody that's a walk on that you didn't backfield the spot.
Going all the way back to what? Ryan Suckup?
That he started it.
Yeah.
And then I mean you can get spoiled. I mean, it's like these teams that kept getting. I did a thing the other day. I was just looking it up because everybody loves all these 5-stars. So I went back and looked how many 5-star quarterbacks have won the national championship. Now, J.J. McCarthy, at Michigan was a 5-star, but we now know the Michigan kind of cheated thing. So you can put an asterisk beside that one. The one prior to that,
Cam Newton.
who it was?
Cam Newton.
Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence,
a 5-star.
Trevor Lawrence.
And then the one prior to him was Cam Newton. So all these championships with Alabama quarterbacks and Georgia quarterback, like people talk about our wide receiver room. I'm like, Georgia ain't never had a wide receiver room, and they won back-to-back national championships. They used a damn tight end was their best receiver. And you hear national people saying, well, South Carolina lost Josh Simon, and that was their best receiver at tight end. I'm like, okay, but Georgia was too, you dummies.
But can I say this to second what you're saying? Who is the most right now? Let's just say in the last let's say the last decade. Who is the most successful quarterback in the NFL? I'll tell you who it is. And what star was he? His name happens to be Joe Burrow. And what star was he?
When he went to Ohio State,
he was a 3-star.
That's probably right. 3, maybe 4 in some of them. I don't know.
Maybe a high 3, low 4. Maybe.
That recruiting, that recruiting shit, just admit they don't come to certain areas in this country and watch some of these football players.
No.
Nope.
You cannot tell me they were overlooking at Lenore Sellers, and everybody looked at Lenore's, and he got hurt his junior year, and really didn't play his senior, so he didn't get a year to raise his stars. Well, like some players just come on in their senior year of high school. How many guys are in college that you see do good in college, and he's like, well, he didn't start playing high school football till his junior year.
Well, now they're all freaks in nature.
Oh yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney, he was a 5-star, but did he make an impact in his first year, second year? No, he didn't. But guess what? When it all clicked, it was like, oh my God, where'd this guy come from? Oh yeah, we've had him for a couple of years. Yeah, he's been here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But this dude that we just drafted, or not drafted, that just committed to us, watch that guy's tape, Rooster. This offensive lineman. That's a freak of nature. Now, again, he might be playing against a bunch of white boys. And in the SEC, he ain't going to be the strongest guy on the field. But he looked like a damn Michael Orr to me. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. He grabbed a whole guy. Hey, the whistle blows. He's still pushing him down the damn field.
You know why you get a guy like that? Because South Carolina has started freshmen on offensive line lately.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And a guy like that sees it, say, hey, I have opportunity to go over there and play.
And it wasn't about the bag. It was about the atmosphere. It was about the atmosphere.
Well, that's like the Blair thing. Did y'all hear the story that he flipped and didn't even tell his mama?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so, but the story coming out of there is his coach is the one that was pushing him towards Tennessee. His mama wanted South Carolina. And I guess, I don't know, he decided to flip to Tennessee and not tell mama.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I said this earlier. I was more shocked that he committed to South Carolina than I was that he flipped.
Oh, the Tennessee fans bragging on that just made me laugh. I'm like, oh, so Tennessee flipped a guy from Tennessee back to Tennessee. That's a shock.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I love my daddy. He's my best friend in the world outside of my wife and my sisters, okay? My wife would be number 1. My daddy would be number 2. My sisters would be number 3, 4, and 5. I lost my mama March the 1st of this year at 69 years old. But I wouldn't do a damn thing my mama said not to do. I promise you. I wasn't going to do something against mama. No, hell no. Hey, she didn't weigh but 115 pounds soaking wet, but I wasn't going to buck that woman. No, sir. No, sir.
Well, I got to get out of here, fellas, but it was nice chatting with y'all again.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm ready for next Sunday, but
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'll jump on with y'all next week. We'll look at see when they announce who's going to be starting. We'll talk about the guys that'll be playing.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
it's about time for me to blow a deer's head off.
You got to blow them rattlesnakes' head off right now.
I put corn out today, and I ain't gonna lie to you, Rooster. I put my snake boots on, and I was out there. I had 50 pounds on one shoulder, 50 pounds of corn on the other shoulder, and I said, you know what? I'm too old for this shit, and it's too damn hot. I'm gonna wait for a little bit.
I'll be clearing my path out where you can drive your little buggy back there and drop that corn. All right, fellas, y'all have a good rest of your night. We'll holler at you later.
You too, buddy.
You have a good night, man.
You too.
All right, Ryan, you back now? You've been paused for 30 minutes. What the hell happened?
Nah, I just
been
didn't
quiet.
want to talk over y'all.
So what? Hey, you don't worry about that. That you on the Gamecock Chuck and the Jordan Dealmaker show. You want to speak, you speak.
All right, fair enough.
Hey, because if I get tired of you speaking, I will speak over you.
Amen.
I respect it. I just something I was taught, but again, Yeah, if y'all don't mind it, then I'll do it because there ain't nothing I'm better at in the world. My parents will tell you than talking over people. So I
Well,
got a lot of experience in that regard.
but
So
but your parents raised you right now because like we discussed the other night. Now both of us is old enough to be your mom and daddy or your daddy, so you respect your elders.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, listen. I mean, if you're a young man and you're not respecting your elders, then I'm just gonna be honest. Someone ought to slap you in the face. That's what I believe.
Well, you know what my daddy used to tell me
What's that?
because you know I've always been a talker. Obviously, I've been in sales all my life, and so has my daddy. But my daddy used to tell me all the time. He said, "Son, let me tell you something." He said, "I want you to listen to me real good." I said, "Yes, sir." Now I didn't buck that man because he tear my ass up. Understand? He said, "God gave you 2 ears for a reason. You listen more than you talk." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "So what I mean by that? When the men are standing around at the hunting club and the men are talking, you a kid. You best be seen, not heard.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if
that's
I did
how I
talk
felt
too
in
much,
30
and I got
minutes.
that damn, if I did talk too much and we got in that damn truck on the way home, he looked at me and he said, "What I tell you? I told you to be seen, not heard."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's kind of again one of the reasons I was waiting on y'all because I wanted to be respectful. I didn't want to talk over anybody because again I was always taught just when someone's speaking you let them finish and everything. But
Well, if you wait on Jordan to finish, you'll be here for a while.
right, I mean as long as y'all don't
Here
mind
we
it.
go. Here we go. One of my best friends, he's throwing shots at me a damn again. Here we go. And you wonder why we're friends. This is what he does to me.
Oh man, it's all love, man. Come on.
Hey, hey,
Look,
he wouldn't have but a 20-minute live if I wasn't on it because he'd be sitting there staring off at the damn wall.
But hey, SECFT, what's your take on the new uniforms?
I mean if I'm being honest with you, I'll say this: the one thing I'm gonna miss really from Under Armour is when I go to the game. I'm going to the home opener this year. I don't know if you are against SC State. I'm going to it, and I plan to go
I'll
to a
be
lot
there.
of games. You'll be
I'll be
there.
there. Yep.
I might have to try and meet up with you somehow and say hello.
Go
I
go to my listen. Go to my Twitter. I tried to tell you this the other night. I don't think I told you how to do it. Same name on Twitter. Okay,
all right.
Jordan Deermaker. Send me a personal message, a direct message, a DM. I will send you my phone number. That way, it's not everybody in the world don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I agree.
we can communicate that way.
Right. I mean, and I don't mind communicating with anybody. I wish I was in here earlier to talk with Carolina Jackpot because I'm gonna tell y'all something. 5 years ago, me and my mom unfortunately had cancer. Now, thankfully, I'm hitting the 5 year mark next week, so I'm free.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going out to eat and celebrate and everything. I'm glad to be alive because I mean, it was melanoma. I'll tell you, it was melanoma. At first, they told me it was stage 4, and whenever I'm told it's stage 4, I'm thinking, my God, am I going to live to be 20? Because I'm 17 years old at the time. I
Mhm.
would go to the dermatologist to have that thing shaved off. Everybody in there is probably over 60, and they're all looking like, what the hell is a teenager doing in here? Like, everybody's just looking like, why is there a young guy in here?
Okay. All
And
right. Well, get to your point about jackpot. Explain that to me.
so I made a video
Mm-hmm.
years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I told my viewers that there was a chance I was probably going to be gone for a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because I had it.
Mm-hmm.
And he commented and showed some support, and he even shouted me out in the video and showed support in his video as well. that meant the world to me.
Okay.
And I
Okay. Good.
just wanted to thank him for that.
Good. Good. And well, I hope. Let me point the right way.
There you go.
Do I have it the right way?
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't get upset, which I know he won't when I say this, and I'm going to let him elaborate on it. But he has gone through almost identical, not himself, but his son. Go ahead, Chuck. Tell him.
That's a hard subject to talk about, man. But yeah, when my son was 5, he was diagnosed with leukemia, and he went through 3 years of treatment, and it was rough, man. It was rough. It was rough as a parent to see that.
It's all right, Bubba. It's all right. It was tough, but guess what? He is thriving today.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. And buddy, God bless you. God did bless you.
Yeah.
And glad you're here to talk with us. I love every second of it. I appreciate the hell out of that.
Yeah, I know. I will say I'm so sorry to hear about that, Chuck, and I'm glad everything's all right now. Let me tell you, and I don't mean to make anyone upset when I talk about this, so I hope I didn't trigger any negative emotions here. But I'm
No,
just
I probably did. When you brought it up, it's a very sentimental subject to Chuck. He loves that. Aiden is his son's name. He's a thriving young man. They went through hard times. It was very trying times, and they came out on the miracle end. Yeah, on the miracle end of it.
Yeah, he's 15 now, and I mean, it's a blessing, man. And I'm glad to hear you beat it. I remember when you were going through this, because I think that's when I first started tuning into your channel.
yeah,
And like several people said, you know, it's a blessing. You know, God works miracles, and you know, everybody's got a purpose, and I don't even know how to say it, man, but you know, it's definitely a blessing. It's definitely a blessing every day when I get to see my son and get to play with him and just seeing what he's done.
Hey, it's not a blessing when he's up to his shenanigans nowadays, though, is it?
No. Yeah, but
it's a blessing you are able to deal with them shenanigans. It's a blessing to have him do them.
Yeah, I don't mind going through some of the difficult times of childhood with him. So considering what he's been through.
yeah. It's never easy at all because my mom was going through it too. We literally had it 1 month apart, and that I got mine like a month after hers. But it was in 2020. This was before my original channel got hacked and deleted, and I lost everything and had to start over.
Yeah.
And again, Jackpot, he commented on the video, said I did a good job because I was giving my previews for the 2020 schedule. I think this was before. Actually, no, yeah, it was back in August, so it was before the season begins for 2020.
That was right in the heat of COVID.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I just really appreciated what Jackpot said. I just wanted to come on here and really tell him thank you because it meant a lot to me. It really did. And he's a good guy. I've watched Carolina Jackpot since 2018. That's when I started YouTube and everything. I was 15 when I started. I was very young and immature and didn't know what I was doing, just being a goof off. But
well, who in the hell says that me and Chuck know what we're doing?
I mean, I still don't know what I'm doing, and I'm 22 now. So I mean,
and listen, Jackpot is an alter ego, like literally. That is literally an alter ego. Who he is in person, you've never met him in person. I have. I don't know if you've heard this whole live, but yeah, I met him in person and we talked and We communicate, we text, and we communicate. Not as much as me and Chuck do, by no means. But at the end of the day, he is a quiet person. He doesn't talk a lot. He really doesn't. Not saying he's shy. He still kind of got that quirky, smart alecky about him.
I'm the same way.
But he's a really, really good person. But when he gets behind that microphone and behind that YouTube, that's when the jackpot comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Well, I have autism, so sometimes it's hard for me to really communicate with some people because of that. I do my best, but it's a struggle at times. I do my best to relate to people and everything, but it's hard because I have speech and communication difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel comfortable connecting with you guys because y'all are really nice gentlemen, and I really appreciate y'all showing support and everything to me. But
Absolutely. You're welcome on our lives anytime, Ryan. Anytime.
I might be a regular on here, honestly. And
Hey,
I,
come on. Hey, I
I,
jumped on your live today. I put some comments in
yeah,
there, and I appreciate you reading them.
yeah. And again, I really I appreciate you showing up. And again, I have a stuttering problem too in my videos. Sometimes I put myself down for that, but I do my best. I can promise that. I do my best. And I had, before I lost my original channel, I had over 1,000 subscribers. I remember when Chuck first started, and I really tried. I tried to get as much people to view his channel as possible, and I'm very glad to see the growth. I mean, both of y'all, I think, deserve way more subscribers than what you got, but I mean, it's good to see y'all growing and everything. And I discovered you, Jordan, I think last year during the LSU game when,
Me
you
doing
know,
that?
yeah, yeah, I've been listening to you ever since because I liked what you said after that LSU game. I mean, well, that was a screw job. I mean, we didn't do ourselves any favor blowing that 17-point lead, but at the same time, let's be honest, the refs did change that game.
They did. They did. But guess what? We shouldn't have
What?
left it in their hands.
Nope.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I was saying too. Like, look, you're right. The refs were horrible, but we put ourselves in that position. But I
Yeah.
like what you said about saying, listen, we got a special team this year. And you were right. This team went 9-3 when almost everybody thought they were not even going to make a bowl game after that Old Dominion game. And I went to that game. Let me tell you, I've never wanted Beamer fired. I've never called for it.
No.
But almost everybody I knew after that game started telling me, terrible, we're only winning 4 games this year, and Beamer needs to get out of here.
No. No.
And I was like, I disagree with that.
Well, and I don't know if you know the backstory, but between me and my family, how do I word this, Chuck? Help me out. We're boosters, we're donors. I kind of get some inside information. I met Shane Beamer personally several times, Ray Tanner numerous times, all the coaches numerous times. I see a lot of the players. I have access to certain things that most people don't have access to. Now, I'm not saying that I could just drive up there tomorrow and stand at practice when all the reporters get kicked out. That would probably be untrue.
Yeah.
But as donors, and I'm not saying big donors, I'm saying above 50 percentile donors, we have some access to things that most people don't have access to. And I know I saw. Now, do I give Shane Beamer hell? You damn right I do. And I'm going to give him hell. And
I
he'll
do too
tell
at
you that.
times.
He'll listen. The first time I met him, and this is what really I introduced myself to him, and he looked at me and he said, he kind of did like that, and he looked at me again. He said, "Are you the deal maker?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Damn you." I said, "What, Shane?" He said, "Damn you. You give me hell." I said, "I just give you hell for talking dumb stuff." I said, I've never been against you. He said, "I know." He said, "I'm just saying, you like to give me hell all the time." I said, "Well, it gets clicks. It gets clicks."
I mean, look, listen. I love Shane Beamer. I do. I told him that at Gamecock Walk. I just told him, I love you, coach. He said, I love you. Back then, walked and gave everybody else fist bumps. So my interaction was short. When he said some of the things he did in that 23 season, it ticked me off. Did I lose support over him? No. But some of the comments towards the fans and everything, it got under my skin. It did. I mean, there are things that he has said at times. Like for me, when he was blaming the hot dog and the chain green crew about saying that was the most disappointing thing about the game against North Carolina, I was
Well,
like,
see, that's the
no,
shit I give him hell about.
yeah, I mean that's just stupid. No, sir, it was the 9 sacks your offensive line allowed.
Yeah.
That was the most disappointing part about it. There was a lot more, obviously. And then after the Jacksonville State game too, it was like there's going to be a lot of people who lead a miserable existence over them celebrating winning celebrating like they won a natty in the locker room. And now I can kind of understand where he's coming from in that regard because that was their first win in like over a month. So I can understand them, trying to have fun together, but you got to also understand how that might look to some people. I don't
Well,
think it's right to just.
here's what Shane doesn't do good. Here's what he doesn't do good. Shane is a hell of a player's coach. Okay. He cares about he knows more about his players than most parents know about their own children. And that's a fact. That's a fact. He cares about his players. He knows what they're why do you think you don't ever hear about our players getting into shenanigans? Because it doesn't happen. Because he knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? The man doesn't sleep. But if I made $8 million a damn year, I wouldn't sleep either. I'd be out at the damn bar drinking beer to see how many of them was coming in drinking. That's what I'd be doing.
What's up, P Digits? How you doing, man?
But at the end of the day, where Shane puts his foot in his mouth is Shane is so caught up in his culture, creating that great culture, which he has done. He forgets sometimes that the national media is in front of him.
Yeah, I mean he's passionate. I mean he's passionate, and I like that. You want a guy like that as your coach, someone who's passionate and cares. But at the same time, again, like it's just whatever you say, it's going to be used against you. And look, I've said the same thing about Dabo at times too. Like just because you've won a couple national titles doesn't mean you're above criticism. And I've had a lot of Clemson friends who were absolutely ticked at what was going on. And I told them, do I think Dabo should be fired? No. But I don't know how any Clemson fan could accept being told, hey, just sit back and deal with this while you're starting 4-4.
All right,
That was back in 2023.
but let me say this. This is where I give Clemson fans hell. Okay. P Digits, I know you're in here listening. You need to listen up to this. This is why I give them hell. First of all, I can't argue with them about records against us or any. I can't argue none of that, right? I can't.
Right.
But I love when they start down their road. We need to fire Dabo. No. And I'm thinking, all right, tell me another coach in the country that's as good as him. And you know what they say?
Who?
Well, I'm like, all right, shut up. Shut up.
Right. They can't answer that.
Shut up.
That's what I told them. That's why I've been telling them too. Like, you guys realize not a lot of coaches have done or will do, in my opinion, what Dabo has done at Clemson.
No, I mean, what you want to get Nick Saban? You want to hire him from Alabama? Well, that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening.
No.
Now you want Kirby Smart. He's in his alma mater. That ain't gonna happen either. So who else is better than those two, other than Dabo? I would say Dabo was behind Nick Saban. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
And I know Kirby Smart's done a lot of good stuff in Georgia, but I mean, I'd still have Dabo. I mean, yeah, he's had more recent success, but I will say I'd still have Dabo above Kirby. Personally, maybe I'm wrong for that, but that's just
I'll tell
me.
you
And
what.
I'll say this too. I'm going to say something that not a lot of Carolina fans say. I actually like Dabo Swinney. I think he's a good guy. I don't like the team he coaches for. But
hey, listen. Oh, you will never ever. Now, you hear me clowning. I will clown the hell out of Dabo Swinney. I clown the hell out of
Me
my own
too.
head coach.
Yeah.
And I met him person to person many times. But at the end of the day, if we didn't have Shane Beamer and Clemson fired Dabo Swinney, I'd be at the board of trustees meeting with a couple of the board members that I know personally saying, y'all need to hire this guy. Y'all need to hire this guy. You know?
Yeah. Look, again, and I'll say this when it comes to Beamer. I love Coach Beamer. I really do. I wish I knew him on the level you did. I do because I'd like to go help out at Gamecock football somehow. I'd love to somehow make that work because in high school, I was it was a manager fan. I don't know if it's someone who helps with the coaches and with the team pretty much. Like you'll go get the coach their clipboards, run drills with them,
Yep. You
throw
pick
the
up
balls
gear
to the
after practice and
quarterbacks.
all of that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
went through practice. I went through some of those drills too. I mean, because I just wanted to be there for the team. And here's the thing: 14 years of my life, I lived in South Carolina. Then I went and lived in Texas and for a couple, and that's where I played football. And you know how they do it in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We would start practice early in after school in the 100-degree heat in the high 90% humidity. I mean, because I was down in Houston, so it was a lot harder down there.
So let me ask you a question.
What's that?
Not trying to pry, and we're live. So if you don't want to say, if you say Chad, we'll talk about this later. We can. You said you're autistic.
Right.
You battled cancer. You're a cancer survivor.
Right.
And can you work a full-time job or you can't?
Well, here's the thing. I'll say this: I have major anxiety issues as well, and that prevents me from driving because
Okay.
I was practicing driving with my father sometimes, and my arms would get so tense to the point where I couldn't move it
Okay.
sometimes, and I'd make some rash decisions that I'll be honest, damn lucky didn't end in a car accident.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Now, I'm getting to a point here.
All right.
I can't promise you anything, but if I could put you in contact with certain people inside of the program that you might could help out.
I mean, that'd be my
But
dream.
on a volunteer, I doubt they would pay you on a volunteer basis to help out, maybe help you out too. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'll be honest. They don't have to give me anything. Just being there is good enough for me. Just, making friends with some of the players. Because here's the thing: when I was a manager there, no, I didn't suit up and play on the field, but every single one of them treated me as if I was one of them.
Sure.
Because we had a good culture. Like they told me, dude, you might not be in the uniform, but you're one of us, whether you like it or not.
And you live in Columbia, right?
I do, yes, right around Lexington, to be exact.
So you could somebody could drive you, or you could Uber to the facility, correct?
I could, yeah. I mean, it depends on certain days and everything. And yeah, some of this stuff I will kind of have to tell you in private, just because I don't want to say it on the air.
That's fine.
But yeah, I mean, look, I hope some of my videos of criticizing the team at times doesn't disqualify me either. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But I mean, because I'll,
Hey,
I'll be honest, I
hey,
was pissed after that Alabama
I
game.
tell you what, I go on Twitter, send me a direct message. I will give you my cell phone number. Okay, I will give you my cell phone number. I'm not putting it on here where everybody in the world can hear it. I'm
I
not
wouldn't
doing,
either.
yeah. I would love to meet you in person, my wife and my children. Hopefully, Chuck can be there. If not, I'll be there. You can come to a game. We can arrange a meeting in the corridor. And let's talk. And maybe I can open the door. Maybe I can't. I don't know, but maybe I can.
Well, I will tell you, I will be there for the SC State game. I will be there. I usually tailgate with some friends right where they get off the bus at Gamecock Walk. But I mean, again, I'll message you, and if there's a way I can say hello to you, if you're going to the SC State game, I'd love to meet you. I really would.
If you're there, I will come to where you're at.
Yeah,
Or you can come to where I'm at, and you have to get a private pass, but I'll meet you at the gate and welcome you in because I park under the stadium.
all right. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had the money really for Gamecock Club memberships and everything, because I run another YouTube channel. I don't want to tell anyone what that is because I want to keep that. It's non-sports related. But that's kind of the way I'm making money right now because, again, I can't drive myself anywhere, at least at the moment. Hopefully that's going to change soon, but that's just how it is right now.
But you can overcome it, my friend.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, and we will. I've gotten therapy for it too, so hopefully that'll work out.
You can overcome it, and God has blessed you with the ability and the knowledge to do what you're doing. And life after cancer, you've been blessed, and you're going to be blessed with more. I believe that wholeheartedly.
I absolutely have been blessed because with that mole that turned cancerous, I caught that thing early, real early, and I was because my dad, because I had family that worked at a hospital. I was able to get that surgery within a couple weeks, so I'm lucky. I don't want to say that I'm some kind of I was fighting for my life or anything like that, but it took a toll on me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean that's something heavy, especially when you had another family member that was going for it as well. And look, no matter what, if you had cancer and you beat it, you're a survivor.
Damn right.
I mean, it
That's
does,
right.
even if you're not. Even if you're not going for chemo or anything, if you beat it, you beat it.
Yep.
I mean, that's just.
I'm at the
So,
point in my life, brother. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. My family would be better off. If I was to get it, I wouldn't take a damn tree. I wouldn't. Because I'm old enough at this point, I can make that decision myself, and my family would be probably better off with me dead than they am when I'm alive. And when I mean that, I'm just saying I have a very sizable life insurance policy on me. And now I would hate my children to grow up without their daddy. But at the end of the day, I don't think I'd do it. I don't. I really
yeah,
don't.
I am.
But at your age, you damn right I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was 17 when I had mine, so I wasn't nowhere near. I mean, I was a junior in high school at that point. I was nowhere near, right? But again, I don't want to risk on upsetting anybody or anything. And the good news is, I'm here today. The Lord has blessed me well. If it wasn't for Jesus, I wouldn't be here right now. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean,
That's it. Well, hold on. Let's see what P Digits. You in here? You just sitting back there, twiddling your thumbs, picking your nose, thinking about how bad Dabo Sweeney is.
No, I was sitting here just listening to SEC. I mean, he's completely right. But if the offering is out to help volunteer with the Gamecocks, is there any way that I could be a part of that as well?
Hell no.
I'd love to get on the inside and help out as much as I could.
I mean,
maybe just a little bit of sabotage wouldn't be that bad, but
I mean, I'm not saying I'm connected, but I'm telling you, my 12-year-old daughter is going to dance with the dance team this year at the 50-yard line, her and her alone with the damn dance team, dressed up like a Carolina girl. So I'm not connected. No, I don't think I'm connected.
giving intel.
No, that's
to
good,
Clemson
man.
there.
That's
Just
good to
saying.
hear.
He
Say
just
what,
wants to give
SEC?
Intel.
The intel?
Yeah, he just wants to give intel to Clemson. Is that what you want to do, Pete Digits?
Well, hey,
If I met
I'm not gonna
in person,
deny that comment nor accept it.
If I met him in person, I don't even know if he drinks cold beer like I do, because I love a cold beer. Everybody knows that. I love my wife. I love my children. I love the Lord above and Jesus Christ. And I love to hunt and fish. And I love the damn Gamecocks. But if I met P Digits, I guarantee John Brown to you, we'd be best friends within 10 minutes face to face. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
Yeah, some of my best friends are, unfortunately, they're Gamecock fans. So, It is what it is.
Now we might
But
talk shit for 2 hours, but we did.
that would be true. That would be true too.
Yeah.
But that's what friends do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of Clemson friends and family too, and you know it's always fun to talk with them. And again, I can't say nothing about the history or anything like that. So, because
Well,
as much as I hate to admit it, it is true. Clemson has dominated South Carolina historically. You can't
Well,
argue against that.
Well, my thing is this.
No.
My thing is
no, you can't.
half
Those
of
are
us,
facts.
half of my friends went to Clemson, half of them went to South Carolina. Well, I say
Mhm.
30% went to Clemson, 30% went to South Carolina. The other 40%, we went to smaller schools. But at the end of the day, we didn't lose our alliance with our hometown schools, you know, who we rooted for in childhood. I've spent many parties and many nights in Anderson, South Carolina at the SO Club. Okay, many. I can tell you anything you want to know about it. Matter of fact, was the only SOB in there with a Gamecock shirt on. That's how brave I was. I walked up in there with a Gamecock shirt on, drinking beer with partying with the damn best of them. So at the end of the day, I don't hate Clemson fans. I just hate the fact that I ain't got a damn thing to argue with them about. That's what I hate.
Yeah. Well,
You got last year, so you know.
Yeah.
we got
Yeah.
last year, and
Yeah, you got last year, and you beat us to having over 600 losses. So I mean, you were first there.
Yeah. The only thing that I can ever throw up in y'all's face, and I do every chance I get, especially when y'all run down the damn rabbit hole and I get to the point where I feel like my foot's in the trap. The only thing I can ever come back and say ever is we beat y'all 5 years in a row. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
well,
And then I can say, well, y'all play a weak ass schedule. But that's about the only two things I can say.
my friend tried to tell me that we can talk to him in one regard, and I was like, "What's that?" And he said the fact that when both teams are ranked, Carolina's got a 6-1 record against Clemson. I'm like, well, yeah, but that's because we're barely ever ranked. That's the problem. I mean, you're right, but it's because we're barely ever. It's not really the gotcha you think it is. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that. But it's what I'm trying to say is it's not really the gotcha that he thinks it is, and that's what I was telling him. I'm like, dude, look, we've been historically bad. I mean, we have.
Well, the agricultural engineering school that Clemson is, you figure there's a bunch of farmers graduated from there and a bunch of damn engineers. But for some reason, they ain't a lot of damn good business majors ever graduated from there for the reason I'm about to state. Why in the hell they want to leave the ACC? That's how y'all won 2 national championships in the last damn decade. Why would you want to leave that shit just because you ain't making?
I can answer this. And this is a 2-part answer. You know, one is the Tobacco Road and how they've been able to pretty much run the ACC, and I've seen too many times of, basically not being fair. Secondly, it's money, and it's a money game now. You can't say that it's not.
I realize the money game, but I want to back you up on the Tobacco Road thing. They don't run the ACC anymore. Y'all do.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Oh, bullshit.
No, you're wrong. That's been going on for a long time. And the thing is that other teams are sick and tired of it too.
I mean, I understand the money issue. That I get. I get the damn money. But at the end of the day,
when do you think that it stopped, Dealmaker? When do you think it stopped?
Of what? The Tobacco Road?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Probably around 16.
2016.
Yeah, I would say 14 to 16 to when y'all were like dominant of everything in the ACC. I would assume.
Okay,
that
I'll
pendulum
say
flipped.
this:
That
there's
pendulum
been
flipped.
pushback since then
Okay.
that they haven't been used to. That didn't usually come from anybody.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
respect.
I'll agree with you there. But
Yeah.
when you are, man, and I've said this, I know I've said this many times. I've been wanting out of this conference for 20 years or so because you could see it, and it was constant over and over and over again. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I saw a Clemson basketball team over at North Carolina about to win the game. Then all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of fluke calls. And that just happened and happened. Now, when have we won up there? After 2016, kind of like what you said. So there might be some truth to that.
Yeah. That's when I saw it, and I figured at that point, I don't know who y'all's president was or y'all's AD was at that time. I think it was
Baker.
Yeah. I figured at that point it was like, all right, now I got the big nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Maybe he did. I don't know, but
and we had D-Rad, and D-Rad, he's pretty prominent, especially in the ACC from Georgia Tech to Clemson. Now he's over at Miami.
And then after y'all's first natty in what 2 decades at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think
2
Ford.
decades.
Danny Ford was y'all's coach in the first one, right? Danny Ford.
Yeah.
What year was that? I don't.
Yeah,
know.
81.
Yeah, that was 80. Yeah, 81, and then, and this is here you go. It kind of goes right into what I was talking about. Clemson gets put on probation. And, things happen, and we got a bowl ban. Well, the ACC had back then he didn't have commissioner. He had ADs. It was North Carolina and a few other schools in North Carolina that got together and said, ADs need to get together and we need to talk about what Clemson's doing. And Clemson was not invited in that meeting, so they didn't have any kind of say. And it was Wake Forest that gave them the heads up about it. And what happened 2 years later?
I remember that.
The ACC put us. They're the ones that put us into a bowl ban, and that was another team that Danny Ford had that probably would have had a chance. But it's things like that that's unfair. And then what you saw happen, and my wife just walked in, and she's a big North Carolina fan. But what you saw over at North Carolina with the academics, and you saw John Swofford, which is an alumnus of North Carolina and was the current commissioner at that time, sit back and say, well, we're not going to do anything. We're gonna let the NCAA handle this. Well, that's again, it just
and they're a joke. We all know that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this: everybody was raised. Are you from South Carolina, P. Digits?
No.
Where are you from originally?
Maine.
Yep.
Okay. Well, what I'm about to tell you, you're probably not gonna like, but I'm sorry. It is what
That's
it is.
okay.
I was raised, you do not talk religion and politics amongst good friends. Okay. That's the way I was raised. But at the end of the day, I'm hard-headed and I don't listen. So you're in a southeastern school. I'm sorry. I don't give a rat's ass who you vote for. That ain't none of my damn business. But this is a Republican country that you live in down here. It is. I'm sorry. North Carolina, they don't know where the hell they at.
Don't get the toys, no.
They're not conservative. They're not
If you
left
can
wing.
jump all the way up.
They don't know where the hell they're at. And
Sorry
if
about
they're
that, guys.
if they're controlling your conference, then I feel for you. I feel for you because they don't know what they're doing. But down here, where we're from, I mean, you can tell by this ain't an accent that I put on. This is how I talk day to day. Chuck will tell you. Anybody that knows me will tell you. And I've made millions of dollars talking to you because this is just me. I'm a salesman. At the end of the day, this is a conservative country. And I'm sorry that y'all are being ruled by the Dukes in the North Carolinas of the world in the Chapel Hills. I feel bad for you. I did not know that. I thought y'all were in control. I did. I thought y'all were in control. The little cow patty town of Anderson, South Carolina. I thought y'all was in control.
No.
There's, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you there, P. Digits.
No, go ahead, SEC. You didn't talk over.
Before you go, right? Before you go, what conference would you like to go in, P. Digits? In all honesty.
Well, honesty, yeah, I'd like to jump into the SEC.
Okay. Do you believe wholeheartedly that if y'all jumped into the SEC, but realistically now, don't think of me as a South Carolina fan or SEC guy.
I know what question this is. Do we think that we'd be able to compete? Like blah 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 blah.
Do you think that you would be a playoff contender every year like you are now?
I don't think. No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah,
Well,
I don't. Now, would we? Yeah,
you're an honest fan.
Yeah, but would we eventually? Absolutely.
I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
but no, I think you go to any kind of conference, you're going to have to adjust. Period. You know, and we weren't Florida State coming into the ACC. You know, at that time, Clemson was way down, and ACC wasn't good in football anyway, and Florida State took off. But it was at least Florida State gave us something to start working toward. Same thing if we were to jump into the SEC. But the thing, and I've said this before on Chuck's show, one thing that I am jealous of as a Clemson fan is every week you guys are hyped up for your game because it is a big game.
Damn right.
And with us, I've got week one. I've got a few this year that I'm pretty excited about and nervous
Week one
about.
should be a big one for you.
Yeah. I mean, and it's just not them. I think Georgia Tech is another one. I think there's a few on the schedule that are going to be.
I would say
nervous and excited for, but it's not like the SEC.
4? Could I say you be hyped up about 4?
I think you could say 5 or 6 actually.
Okay, well,
Louisville on Friday night.
Yes,
might be tough.
yes.
I would say I don't
yes,
know.
SEC.
I don't know
Agree,
your whole
buddy.
schedule. I would say definitely LSU.
Yes.
Louisville, Georgia Tech.
Yes.
South Carolina. That's about 4.
Yes.
What's the 5th one?
Yes,
Oh man, I thought. Go ahead. Duke is another one. I think Duke's going to be fairly good. And I would also throw Syracuse in there. Syracuse, there's just some teams they have the number of another team, and that's one I would take.
Okay, well we're hyped up about 9.
Right. Well, you're proving my point.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's where, and I think Clemson is more like a SEC school than they are an ACC school.
Hey, and I don't know if you've heard this or not, but I'm hyped up about 10 because I think we have a legit shot to lose against Coastal Carolina.
I heard,
but I'm a homer. I'm Teal Nation. Okay, I'm Teal Nation.
Look, I'm sorry. Look, there's no reason we should lose that game to Virginia Tech, and I don't think we will. But I'm just telling you, the history South Carolina has starting ugly week 1. If you let that team hang around, I'm sorry, but that could be an uncomfortable game. Now, again, I don't think we lose that game. What
I tell you, young man, what I tell you earlier.
I know about Shane Beamer, Lenore Sellers, and everything, but the truth is we had that against Illinois.
I gave you 3 reasons not to worry about that game.
You're
now,
right.
Am I deep inside worried about it? Hell yeah, because we don't start worth of shit. I am worried about
That's exactly why I'm worried about it. And look, you're right. We have Shane Beamer. We have Lenore Sellers. But to be fair, we also had that against Alabama and Illinois. The whole team's got to show up. And I believe they will. But again, just start strong and fast. That's all I'm asking for out of that game. Please. Just don't let them hang around long enough to the point where we're sweating it out in the fourth quarter. That's the only thing I want to see.
If we're not 5-0 and rating in the top 8 after 5 games, I'm gonna talk more trash than any Gamecock fan that you know.
Yeah,
Because guess what? After that, we go through a gauntlet then.
Yep.
Murderers Row in October. Murderers Row.
Yeah.
And LSU on the road. That's never easy. Now you got Oklahoma and Alabama. This is the point I wanted to get to, by the way. Something Brock Lee said in the comments, I agree with. Clemson would probably struggle in the SEC at first, but they'd adapt over time, most likely. Hopefully not. Parentheses. So South Carolina is my number 1 team, but Oklahoma is my second favorite team. And there's a personal reason why. It's been like that since 2012. I don't really want to explain why because it's personal.
Right.
Oklahoma, listen, I'll tell you this. The last 2 of the last 3 years have been our worst season since the 1990s. I am not used to seeing Oklahoma's offense look anywhere near it looked like last year. I mean, that was pathetic. And I was sitting there watching the South Carolina Oklahoma game, and on one hand, I'm like, awesome, South Carolina's dominating. But on the other hand, my senior side sitting there and saying, we have hit a new low.
All right, stop. Stop. Why did that happen though?
Because of the turnovers.
No. You got to look at the big. You looking through a silo, through a scope. Look at the big picture. P. Digits is not going to like what I'm about to say, but I'm just going to tell facts. Okay, I'm going to state facts right here. Who was Oklahoma's head coach for years and years and years?
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, the same guy that backstabbed us. And
Bob Stoops.
Bob
Stoops. Yeah, that guy.
Okay, where did Bob Stoops come from? The SEC, from Florida. He was an assistant coach under Steve Spurrier when he took that position. Okay? Seriously. And then Lincoln came in, and Lincoln brought that East Coast offense, and it worked because he had an offense and defensive line he ain't never seen in his life because they were built as an SEC team. That's how Bob Stoops built them. He built them like an SEC team. He knew that the bigger and the faster the boys are up front in the trenches, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah.
That's how he won all that he won. Then they brought in Lincoln Riley, and he brought in almost like the fun and gun or whatever you want to call it, the run and shoot. But he still had the big boys. Then Brent Venables, which, listen, one of the best defensive coordinators in the damn country. I would not argue not one person over that. But so was Will Muschamp.
Yeah, not a good head coach.
But not a good head coach.
I don't like Brent Venables at Oklahoma. I'll be honest with you.
That is the problem. He was used to playing 2 big games a year. Now he's playing 7 big games a year.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley literally, not to keep cutting you off, but Lincoln Riley, he left because he was worried about the SEC.
Oh, he didn't want to be in the SEC.
Yeah, and now you're kind of seeing why. Because look, Oklahoma now, I say we as Oklahoma because they're my second favorite team. I could watch them just cruise past everybody in the Big 12 because they didn't have any competition. Texas was having a down year. Every now and then you'd see Texas Tech give us a fight. Kansas State bullied us for a couple years. I mean, they did. And I mean, Oklahoma State, I mean, we've dominated them historically, but there were some times where they gave us heart attacks. I mean, Oklahoma, they've dominated that conference for over 20 years. And you and Texas were pretty much the big boys of that conference, even though Texas went for a few years where they had a drought. You went from having to maybe worry about 2 games a year to now worrying about 6, 7, 8. I mean, we knew what was coming. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to say that if Lincoln stayed, it would have been easier. But I'm not going to sit here and act like Lincoln leaving didn't give a gut punch to Oklahoma's program because it did. We lost a lot of recruits from it. We lost Caleb Williams, who came in after Spencer Rattler and just lit everything up and gave us some hope. We didn't start the season. Now, I'm not blaming that on Rattler because I think the offense set him up to fail. I think the coaching staff set him up to fail. He was doing good in 2020.
Well,
I mean,
the problem is you're right, but he quit recruiting in the trenches.
yeah,
And that's he was recruiting skilled players, but guess what? Skilled players don't win the game. They score points. Them big boys up front, that's who wins your damn game. And Brent Venables knows that. But Brent Venables inherited a shitty team. And it's going to take him time.
Yeah.
It's going to take him time. The problem Brent Venables has got, he don't know a damn thing about offense.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, he inherited a Big 12 offense and team. He didn't inherit an SEC team.
He doesn't know what to do with it too. And Dillmaker was right because I was putting it through a simple lens and I wasn't really looking at the biggest picture. It is a coaching issue. It is about Brent Venables because, again, Venables, he's a great defensive coordinator, just like Will Muschamp.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not good head coaches. And I'll be honest, I think John Mateer's a good quarterback. I think he's going to do some good things. But the problem is, to get to my point, I'll just get to the point about the Broccoli's comment. Oklahoma's not going to stay down forever, too. I really don't think that. If we can get better coaches and recruit better, Oklahoma, I'm not saying they're going to dominate the SEC like they dominated the Big 12. Hell no. But they'll be in a much better position than they are right now. I can promise you that.
Yeah. I tell you what. I tell you what. If Brent Venables got fired this year, which I hope he doesn't, but if he did, if I was Sam Pittman, I would go to the board of trustees and say, hey, I need $1.7 million to hire a defense coordinator, and his name is Brent Venables. And I'd hire his ass at Arkansas. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, you'd be stupid not to, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be dumb not to hire Brent Venables as a DC.
But and at the end of the day, who needs it more than anybody in this conference? It is Sam Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam's a great guy. A great guy. He knows offense, but he don't know a damn thing about defense. And that's
right, and
they have the opposite problems. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think Oklahoma's going to stay down forever, but you got to start learning the offense, man. You got to. I mean, you just got to stop. Again, I don't think.
Let me say this out loud. People can say whatever they want to say about me. I am who I am. My personality is what it is. But at the end of the day, my success came from two things. Number one, being smart enough to know, and number two, being man enough to admit. Okay?
Yep.
And what I mean by that is, in all the businesses that I've been in, associated, ran, operated, fully functioned, or owned, in all my life for the last 25 years, guess what? I wasn't a great one. I was smart enough to hire great ones around me. I was man enough to say, hey, you know this better than I do. I'm going to pay you what you deserve to make us better as a team.
That's how you run a good business.
Hey, and guess what Nick Saban was? He was a damn master at it. He was a master at it.
And that's why he's the GOAT, man. That's why he was the greatest coach of all time, because he knew how to do that.
I mean, he knew defense. He knew everything there was to know about defense. But at the end of the day, you talking about Sarkisian. You talking about my good friend at Ole Miss up there that I love so much, and I'm being sarcastic. You talking about Kiffin? I mean, he hired the guys that knew more about offense than he knew. But guess what? He was man enough and smart enough to know, damn, you know more about it. I'm going to have to pay you. You go do it. And he let them do the damn job. He let them do the damn job.
Right. And I'll say this because I told you Oklahoma's my second favorite team. You know how I feel about Texas. I hate them, and I hate that they're in the position they were. I wish they can go back to being 5-7 and losing to a horrible teams like they lost to Kansas that one year. I really wish they could. I'm getting tired of what Texas is doing. But at the same time, Sarkisian's figured it out. And because he has, things, again, do I think there are still some areas for Texas? Yes. But look at what he's done. You can't deny. I mean, and look, Texas has still won the same amount of, semifinal games. Oklahoma has 0. I'm gonna make myself cry. I better stop doing that. But,
But at the end of the day, do you know what makes Dabo Swinney smart? He is smart enough to delegate, the direction to other people, and he's done it for years because he was never a head coach. He was never a coordinator. There's not one side of the ball he knows better than the other. Okay, there's not. Guess who else has that same trait about him? And his name's Shane Beamer.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I
That's
said
true.
all of what I said for the last 20 minutes to get to this point. Delegation and being smart enough to know what you don't know and smart enough to admit it. That right there, gentlemen, is how you become successful. Because you put those people around you that know what you don't know. Now, at the end of the day, you still the man in charge or female in charge. I don't want people to say, damn. No, I don't want nobody to say none of that bullshit. Whoever it is, male or female, however you identify yourself, I don't give a damn. If you're smart enough to realize those two things, and you put the right people in place and pay them to do that damn job and allow them to do it, your ass will be successful.
Right. Right. And I
And that's
got a
what
question.
Dabo Swinney did. He followed. I'll be honest with you. When Dabo got that job, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. He ain't had no clue. He was nervous as shit. He was nervous as shit.
I disagree. I think he had a plan. Now, did he know whether the plan was going to work at Clemson? No, but he did go in with a plan. And I'll tell you something else that was right behind that.
On Tommy
Hold on, Jordan. Hold on. I'll tell you another thing that was different with Dabo Swinney was he had the backing. And one of the backings that he had, and I was at the game, I remember a kicker. He kicked off. The play was, there was a tackle. He was going back and picking it up, and he started jogging to the sideline. And you saw Dabo Swinney sprint down and tell him to go back to the middle of the field and sprint back to the sideline. And that whole stadium watched that. And that's when you knew he was going to be holding these guys to a standard. So he's been keeping notes with all these coaches that he's worked for over the years.
Okay.
What has worked well and what has not worked well.
Okay.
So I think he came in with a plan.
And his plan was to get Tommy Bowden was going to get fired?
No, he was ready for his opportunity, and it happened. Tommy knew after the Wake Forest game that he was going to be fired. He even walked in and told that it was going to happen.
Because when you say he came in with a plan, it was almost like my mindset was he was plotted like, I'm going here because their coach is going to get fired. I don't think he believed that.
No.
He wouldn't have took the job.
No, I don't think that's the case.
No.
He was surprised when they offered it to him, the interim. But he said he was prepared because he had taken notes from all these other coaches, and now it was his chance to apply it.
Correct.
And then when he started to apply it, then he got the Clemson backing of it. That was the big difference. Same thing that you're starting to see at South Carolina.
But
I agree with that.
But guess what? It didn't work out for him so well for the first few years until his process came into play. It takes a few years for your process. It takes a few years. But
recruiting was the big thing.
But guess
The
where he came
recruiting
from?
started to change.
Everybody forgets he played at Alabama. He coached at Alabama. He took the Clemson job as a receivers coach. All right. My point was, I'm not saying Dabo Swinney was not prepared for his position. And if you took it that way, I'm sorry. He was nervous as shit when he took that position.
No, he was ready to be a CEO is what he was ready to be.
He saw it. He saw it from five stories above, and he knew what he needed to do.
Yeah, and it was going to take a while too.
But he didn't know how to make it work. It took time for him to realize how to make it work.
Sure.
I got a question for you, P Digits. If you
Go
don't
right
mind.
ahead, buddy.
And I don't mean to ask this to confuse you. I'm curious because your voice sounds familiar, and that's why I'm asking this question. Did you used to be Prince 6'1"?
No. I know who you're talking about, though.
You sound almost just like him, so I was wondering about that.
No.
He used to be who?
Prince 6'1". He was a viewer in Pigskin Pete, which is a Clemson fan. I listen.
Yeah,
to
he's a bit.
times.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
You just
that was
sounded
when
like
Pete
him.
was. That was when Pete was starting off actually on YouTube.
Yeah, 2018, 2019.
Yep,
but
that's right.
I thought you said Princess won.
That's what I thought he said. Princess won. I'm like, what?
No. But I was just asking because y'all sound familiar.
Yeah.
But,
hey guys, I hate to cut this short because I think we've had a good show tonight. I got to get up in the morning at 4:30 and go to work. So I appreciate P Digits SCCFT for hopping on and hanging out with us.
Anytime.
And we'll be back Monday to start talking a little more about Virginia Tech, South Carolina. And yeah, we'll get ready for the season because it's right here at us. So.
Hey, I want to say something before we jump off. I appreciate everybody getting on. Please like, comment, subscribe to Gamecock Chuck, one of my best friends in the whole wide world. That's the reason why we're on here doing this thing. And secondly, P Digits, thank you.
Yep.
SEC Football 2, thank you. Thank you, Rooster. And my man,
Jackpot.
Old Jackpot, Kel Hall. Y'all please spend $20 so we can talk shit about who won more picks than the next to get in that Callaway Pick'em Challenge. It's $20 is worth us talking shit for 12 weeks, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's my opinion of it. But anyway, gentlemen, thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Ladies, if y'all in here, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
SEC Football 2, do what I told you to do.
All right, I will message you, and I will say this: you two are welcome to join my stream anytime, because sometimes I do StreamYard things. So anytime y'all want to hop on, y'all are always welcome.
Well, you let me know, buddy. Talk to you later.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, y'all have a good night now.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We're going to hit the bed. It is time to go. Appreciate everybody stopping by. We had a good show tonight, I think. So a lot of talk, a lot of banter, a lot of discussion. We got the 5-star Darius Gray out of Virginia. So all's good and well there after the Blair flip to Tennessee. Not worried about that. We got a better player in Darius Gray. Be on the lookout for my video. I'm going to put out a video about Darius Gray probably tomorrow, maybe Sunday. And y'all look for that. Make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up, please. I appreciate everybody. Subscribe. Not only subscribe to my channel, subscribe to everybody that's on here. SECFT, he's got a great channel. Rooster, subscribe to his channel. and Jordan Dealmaker. Go check him out. Subscribe to his channel as well. And Carolina Jackpot. If you ain't subscribed to Carolina Jackpot, then I don't know what the hell you're waiting on. Y'all need to go subscribe to his channel as well. Like Jordan said, get into the Callaway's Challenge. If you don't get in this week, you still can get in next week for week 1. You just may be 5. You may be 5 behind the leader, depends on how well the best person does. So go get in that contest, spend $20 for the entire season, pick against the spread. And if you win, if you're the smartest person, you get 70% of the pot. If you're the second smartest, you get 30%. And if you're the third place guy, you get 10%. So you get a good payday, whether or not you first, second, or third. So go get into the challenge and let's have some fun this college football season. We're right here upon it, man. Week 0 is tomorrow. Got 5 games on the docket. I just made my picks for the Callaway Challenge. So not sure how well I do, but I'll put them out there. We'll see how it goes. And, so go do that. I appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good night. And let's get this football season going, baby. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.